And we back, you gets. All right, and we're here with our hobby stream. Now, if you don't know how this goes, you know. What we do is we like to show pictures from the Discord hobby chat, as well as we have a good amount of lists here we're going to cover. So we're going to look at pictures, then we're going to jump to a list, and we're going to be done with that list. We're going to look at some more pictures. That way we're alternating between both. That way the people who sent lists get their attention, but then also people who have awesome hobby stuff that they have that sent in get their attention as too.
Right. And tell us what you guys think too. We want to hear your feedback. It gives us something to jump off as well.
Yeah, fight back, say things back to us, send them emojis. Let me start off with some runt emojis. You guys got the emojis of the runts. Let me click it. You got the little runt. He's ugly. He's crying. Click him. I want to see his sad face to start this off because everything starts with the squig or a runt, right? So right off the bat with the hobby stream, let's look at the first picture that we're going to go over before we look at the lists because we do have several lists we're going to go over too. But I want to look at these awesome pictures who we really got from the Discord. A lot of these came in Orktober, actually. Some of you guys actually put together stuff in Orktober and it's not painted yet. Go ahead and send those to me again. At me, even if you have to, when they're painted up. That way they can end up on a hobby stream because we like to make it a lot of we like to make it fun pictures, right? And I see the runts in the chat. There we go. Whoa! All right, and look at this awesome Snickrot. You guys, this is actually how I like to see my Snickrot, to be honest. He has a nice little lime green kind of bright color. Yeah, you can see he's smoky dirty. He kept that nice gray coloring so that he kind of still stealthy, not too shiny and beaky. I like to see him purple though, because that's how I like to be cunning.
Is this a custom base here or what's going on?
Yeah, I think there's a custom base. And I like how he put those Space Marine ribbons in the back, right?
Oh,
like you guys know, what are those called? The sigils or the seals, right? For the Space Marines when they do something. Well, they did something, they got crumped by Snickrot. So let's go. Oh, that's your Snickrot. Great job. Another one I want to look at right here, a sick weird boy. Looks like whoever this was, they maybe shared on Instagram or something, and they sent 3 pictures, so it's a 3-way. I like that a lot. If you ever share these, that's gonna be really cool too. So yeah, boom, weird boy on here, and of course, chats. You guys love yell at us. We can see you. Whatever you say, we're working on. Right? I mean, we can actually read all this. So come out. Oh, starting with. Whoa, no sunshine. Whoa. All right, I like that one. That's hilarious. Must be on Ork time. Yeah, we always on that Ork time. Whoa, from the Pale Ork and a bunch of the guys in chat. Whoa, you get with the runs. Look at those beautiful runs making their way on screen. Whoa. He said, I love Teletubbies. What?
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for the runs. Sexy Snickrot. Did my list make the cut this time? Actually, it did.
We got you, Pale.
All right. My wife thinks she's funny, as they all do. Whoa, for Ork daggers. And then it's a purity seals is the correct name. Sorry, I'm not a beaky, you know. I'm not big. I'm not an armored beaky, so I don't know nothing. All right, and then we have an awesome Death Killer Wartrike. Let's look at that. Everybody appreciate the sick Death Killer Wartrike. If you don't know how I like mine run, I like to feel no pain. Put that feel no pain. So think about it. A biker unit plus the Death Killer Wartrike with the feel no pain is the exact same cost as the Beast Pulse on Squigosaur with no enhancements. Right? Yeah. So would you rather take the biker and the Death Killer Wartrike with the feel no pain in the movement, or would you rather take the Beast Boss and Squigosaur? That's up for you to decide. But,
I like how you pulled off the yellow on here.
Yeah, I like that he's
easy color to paint with.
You can see that this guy's actually going for the speed wall kind of, for the speed freaks kind of look, and I really appreciate that. So very, very sick on him. He made a great job by having these triplet pictures. And last but not least, of course, is a Mega Knobs. I love me the Mega Knobs, right? Everybody loves the Mega Knobs. So these Mega Knobs look great, nice and dirty, yet they're still yellow. Yeah. Right? That's really hard to pull off that kind of beaten down where the edges are grinded away from actually constantly rubbing on things to being dirty from all the smog and all the orc dirt and everything being kicked up. So he did a great job by getting them bright, making them beautiful, yet, putting them worn down. Whoa, it's love. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Whoa. That's funny because I sing that song all the time for no reason. I sing that song all the time. Now he just gave me a reason for the Orks.
No, he's not gonna stop.
Now I'm gonna do this at work now. You guys can't do this to me, guys. I'm gonna do this at work. Currently working on my Christmas box and 2 trucks. Ooh, you getting stuck in, boy, in that hobby. And great job there. I appreciate that. Just like this did get with the Mega Knobs.
Yeah, beautiful job.
Great job. Before we move on to that, let's look at the first list because I'm already ready to look at a list, to be honest. So we have a bunch of lists here. We have a good amount of lists here. Sorry, I was looking at something. Oh, we saw them. Okay. Yeah, they're random. So they're going to be kind of random, guys, because I don't have great names from the little thumbnail. So let's see who goes first. Boom. And this looks like Jay Jimenez going first with his list, 2,000 point GT list. So keep in mind, guys, he actually has this list because he's trying to get ready for a GT. So if David, if you want to read through it real quick as well.
All right. So he's
And
got.
I'm going to look at his notes because everybody, I think, sent me some notes. Hopefully I remember to look at all of them. Here we go.
All right. Start off the list. We got a Beast Boss. Not bad. Not bad. Captain Badrock, of course.
Beast Boss, honestly, I'm still in love with that guy because delivering those web dev wounds and that damage reliably on the outside of a wall turn, and all these super tanky and oily things, just Beast Boss by himself is so worth it, especially when you actually do Unbridled Carnage and then re-roll the whole hit roll and fish. Then you can do like 12 dev wounds into someone. They're just like, that one little dude? I'm like, yeah, you killed all those Snaggas. Doesn't matter. He's the only one that matters. So I'm still greatly in love with him.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's going to be Beast Boys on this list too.
Yep.
All right, Captain Badrock, of course. You got Maz, then a Knob on Smasher Squig with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper, our favorite enhancement here, specifically on that model. And then 2 war bosses, one with Follow Me Lads. As far as battle line, here we go. 2 units of Beast Snagga Boys. We got 4 trucks.
Well, that's a good amount. 4 trucks, I think, is almost exact what I like to roll and run.
Unit of Flash Gits for Badrock. 2 units of Gretchen. And we got 2 5-man.
Okay. I don't hate it. Let's see what's going on. What else?
And 1 blob of Squig Hog Boys and 1 3-man.
Okay.
And then
2 Storm Boys.
2 Storm Boys.
Okay, so let's roll back up slowly real quick so I can regather everything before I start speaking and beaking.
Is he fully maximizing these trucks? The capacity?
To the extent. So he has 2 war bosses. So he's going for the 2 war bosses into
with the
5-man units. Yeah, and looking for those double odd scalpel units, right? It comes down to, do you want to have 1 big brick to straight punch out something really reliably, or do you want to have 2 kind of skirmishing units is what I'm seeing on this list? Because really, just between me and you, you get, this is almost a copy and paste, like a kind of list I would run, right? For the most part. I think I run 3 more Squig Hog Boys, and I don't have the war boss, the second war boss. I run 1 brick, and then I have 1 less truck. So actually, I can relate to this very much because just minus the 1 truck, minus the additional war boss, stick in more Squig Hog Boys, and you have essentially my list, right? So that's actually, I'm just going to tell you straight out, that's actually how I prefer to see that. Now, you can choose not to do that because then you can just have, more trucks on the list, but 2 3-man units Squig Hog Boys is great for skirmishing. You can choose to combine those to make a second big brick of Squig Hog Boys. If you don't own them, that's fine. He said that, he might not even have those. So if you don't have those and you just want fighting small skirmishing units and trucks, that's really, really not bad at all, to be honest. The one other thing that I'm not in love with this on this list, to be honest, is the second pack of Beast Snagga Boys that's just by themselves. Like, they don't have character support. I'm not in love with just a naked Beast Snagga Boy by themselves because for 105 points, they get traded out easy by small arms fire. You know what I mean? So if you could stick in maybe small units of Mega Knobs in there, I'd actually be okay with that too. Let's say you own like a 3-man unit. You could take that and then throw an enhancement on somebody if you have the second kind of enhancement. But you already have Follow Me Lads. You paid the extra price. So think about how much points you could hypothetically free up if you did combine the War Boss unit into 1 and dropped him, or if you just dropped the Beast Snagga Boys unit, got rid of Follow Me Lads, and then you start sticking small units of Mega Knobs on this list. You can have more small units holding the midboard and playing that kind of way as well, if you don't really want to commit to a brick. But I personally, as you know from watching the channel, really love just 1 big brick of knobs for that scalpel, because if you lose a couple on Overwatch, you're not mad. The fact that you're getting +1 to hit from the war boss on that big brick of unit means that even if it's wounding stuff on 5s or on 4s, it can still tear down units just by pure attrition rate of fire. If people realize you have these small units, they might try to find ways to hinder them, as well as it's harder to get off the war boss's wall ability on the wall if he's in 2 kind of smaller units trying to get off different charges at different times. So I've seen it being used, so I'm not saying it's bad at all. I'm saying that's just how I like to use it, because if you're trying to tear down these armor units that have 2-up armor saves, you're going to want that big unit to really get in there and tear stuff down.
Yeah, I think having those knob units separated kind of takes away from some possible punch on this list?
The way that we see them on the list being punched, and you do really only have a couple punches here. You have, your big brick of Squig Hog boys and your beast snaggas with your beast boss. Maz is more of like a delay and deterrent, so he's really not killing. Then you have your flashes trying to shoot. So what's really getting stuck in when someone closes the distance or pressures you, like we've talked about with some of these other lists, right? Do I hate the list? Not at all. No, I still think it's pretty freaking good. Beast Snagga boys on their own when they get to strength 6. There's some matchups that you're going to be really grateful to have the Beast Snagga boys and their awesome strength. I'm just telling you across what I see and what's coming more likely in the meta is we see better armor saves coming into play where you kind of want more killing potential and you don't want stuff that can get easily killed by small arms fire and weakened like the Beast Snagga boys. But I don't hate them as a skirmish because they jump out of truck. Just them, not bad. As for is this list, if I had to rate it, honestly, it's pretty excellent. 7.5, possibly, maybe even a little better, depending on what your list you go into. And it's very similar to something I would run myself. So you're definitely on the right track. You're definitely doing great. Like I said, just not in love with the Mega Knob brick, but that doesn't mean the small Mega Knobs unit, that doesn't mean it's bad at all. Okay. And you are playing on GW terrain, you told me. So, there are many times that you're going to be standing in the open. So if you own Mega Knobs, you decide to use those 3-man units instead or 2-man units, you might appreciate that, right? So yeah, great job there. Great job there. Now, I think that's the first list, right? Anything else you want to bring in mind? Because I actually greatly like this list. And remember, chat, you guys respond because this is one of our fellow war bosses. He's probably in the chat or he's going to come back and watch this later. Either agree with me, wah, or nah, right? If you agree with me, go ahead and wah. If you disagree, put a nah and then say why. Because he's considering commandos too. It's just that what are you going to take out for the commandos? You would take down the Beast Snagga boys, you would take down one of the free war bosses, and then you would stick commandos on the list. Do I think commandos can end up on this list? Yeah. With the new meta, I don't see why not, especially if you don't own more Squig Hog boys and you choose I'm not going to bring them.
Right. Yeah, he's got a good foundation here for a list.
Great foundation here for a list already. Yeah, great foundation.
It'd be easily a 9 out of 10 list.
Oh, David Eves didn't even a higher list, but I think
I'm saying it's
it can sway. Yeah, it can swing either way where it can go. So commandos can end up on this list. I would say drop the Beast Snagga boys, maybe the Follow Me Lads enhancement, and you might need to scrounge up some weird points somewhere else, but you can fiddle it. I'm not sure if the knobs in the small units are where I'd go though, to be honest. Right? Not that I'm hating on it. I just really, really love. There's been no games where I've been mad that I have a big brick of knobs to just punch out the enemy's delay unit or fight in death with that unit once they've hurt me. So that's just me. But still, it's a pretty good list. Nothing to sway at, nothing to be down at, right? Boom.
Exactly.
Let's see a little bit real quick, which what chat says in response. A lot of people were getting wahs. Yep, we're getting wah. People are agreeing. So we're not off. Catch you live. Thank you, Daggas. What is this dude doing? Brothers of the wall, rejoice. Swing, swing, swing with me. Raise your choppers and raise your voice. Kill, kill, kill with me. I don't know what song that is, but I rate it anyways. Anyone seen the new Christmas Squig rules? Doesn't say legendary. It gives Gratz a CP farm on a 2+. Oh, let me see. Hold on.
What is that about?
What are you talking about, boy? Holy poop, that's crazy. Free grenade strat. Oh yeah, that would be an auto include that free CP, more CP on that. Oh yeah, he probably would end up in Legends though, guys. Even if they don't say it yet, chances are he will. If he's an exclusive model, they tend to just go directly to Legends. And he's lone op, scout move. Yeah, he would be great rules if he actually stays alive and stays into it. But we're good to bring it up because we're not sure of that for sure. Commandos is wall, commandos is love, commandos is life. Wallace. If he drops the Snaggas, he can drop a truck too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't want to throw it in the truck because some people really like to have that and do stuff with it, because that truck you can stick the 3-man or the 2-man Mega Knobs in that truck, and then it moves the trucks forward. The dudes jump out, and then you have someone sitting in the mid board. The truck runs away, go tank shock something, whatever, stuff like that. So I'm not even saying you have to release him. Let me see this. It's Diggy Diggy Hole Wall Edition made when bored. Cam pulls lyrics. Oh, okay, I know what that is. That's from the Diggy Diggy Holes from the Squats, essentially, like one of their songs. We diggy diggy hole or some stupid thing like that. Yeah, it's funny though. Was released tonight in Warhammer community. Oh, oops, I didn't even see that. What? Are we gonna pull that up? We can pull that up on a side window possibly. But in the meantime, let's look at some more pictures. So here we go. Someone got stuck in and actually got painted. I think this was Wicked Joe actually. Good job, you actually painted. I like that you did very, very obviously distinguished each of these units. There's a purple unit, there's a red unit, and then there's a 3-man unit. Then each one has their own character. Boom, very easy, beautiful. And then the actual beast boss on Squigosaur is a completely different color. And then I like that simple basing because that's how mine looks too. So great job here. Can't get super close with the detail, but that's okay. You just show that you got it done, and that's what matters. Then we have a very, very fancy Gazgul Mag Urathrak.
Yeah, I like how like grimy this looks. Like, just gave it that dirty look here.
Yeah, it's the box art, but dirtier.
Yeah,
you know, in a good way, and all by all good means, right? I would say the only thing that I would be a little more normal to see is a little bit more outlining on maybe the shoulder pad and the rims of the hard edges there, right? I'm not critiquing this person. I'm saying you add that little bit of lining, and then you can actually see the rest of the model, because right now these really rustic parts stick out more than the center, you know. And if you edit that, it would put him on that next level. But he's already on a very, very high level, better than stuff I would paint. You know, he pulled this off very, very well. So great looking Gazgul. Did you end up seeing that community post or what?
Yeah, we can pull it up.
Okay. There's someone sharing their wall. And in this little snowy terrain, you see the big bricks of Boyz. Just wanted to give this person's wall a shout out. You can see Gaz in there. A mech workshop. Someone actually makes a workshop. And also the reason I pulled this up is because if you look in the background, that corner in the left side of that picture in the top, that's a looted wave serpent. That looks like a truck, and we actually have that as a picture that we'll get to. So keep that in mind, right? And then also Grot tanks. People don't even own those, and if you kitted dash them up, you'll appreciate it. Then we have a beautiful, beautiful, very clean Death Dread, and this guy is pretty much coming out the combat patrol. He has a rocket, and then he has 3 arms.
Boom. Nice.
Boom.
Go Death Skulls.
Go Death Skulls. So with that being said, I want to pull up another list, and don't worry, chat. We're still paying attention to you guys, but if you don't say nothing to me, I'm going to keep just popping through everything and getting stuck in. So make sure you guys keep going and sending me stuff, right? Responding some, let me see some grots in the chat. So next we have actually, before I go there, let's see what the Pale Orc says. He goes, so I know we don't run buggies because on paper they're garbage, but has anyone run an all buggies list and seen how they actually play? Actually, I know of someone that's in our Discord that actually did that. They go by AKA Speed Boss Ann or Fiona, right? Fiona's actually taken them to an RTT and took all buggies, and it's what she said. They were garbage on paper. You agree? Of course, she said it was very fun. And there were some moments that caught people off guard, but in reality, lacking the melee and lacking any buffs mean that they really didn't do anything. And I believe she ended up going 1 and 2 or something like that. But yeah, she actually took it. Like, that takes some guts, right, to be a proper war boss and actually do it. So very cool.
They're liking a few buffs here and there. I think you mentioned it on the last stream. Maybe like a 5-up invo would help.
Yeah.
Some assistance in shooting or fighting.
Exactly.
Get some extra volume there.
Thanks, Clip, for giving me that grots. That's what I'm talking to see you guys. I see you in chat. You guys got them memberships. You guys better be sending them little emojis because I want to see. I like to see them little grots and see a bunch of little stuff. You have a bunch of different emojis. Let me see them. We also got the squig emoji. He looks great. He's like, all crazy looking. And
we added some new ones.
The run herder is hideous. I love him for being hideous.
War boss in there.
War boss. All right, now we got the fighting Fedora. This is our neighborhood grot lover. So let's see what this little grot lover says. All right, so our grot lover has 1, 2, 3 mechs, and 1 is the warlord with super cyborg body because he doesn't want to die from blowing himself up. Then we have 1, 2, 3 units of Gretchen. Okay, so this looks like he sent this list before, guys, and then we gave him a hard time because he didn't have Gretchen on the list. Remember that? And then
he didn't
have enough Gretchen, and we were super mad. Yeah, I was super mad at him. And then we have 3 units of Grot Mega Tank. So if you guys don't know what these are, it's a Forge World model. It's like T9. It has built-in armor of contempt. It shoots rockets with twin linked. It's about 110 points, as you can see there. I actually really, really like it. Grot Mega Tanks are freaking cool. It looks like a boat. It looks like a boat, to be honest. So yeah, David, you can pull up more of the stats because it's T9 moves 8. You know, it has decent OC, 12 wounds. That's what it is, and 4 OC. So I like that.
3-up save
with a 3-up base save. So he's kind of cheap. He compares to like another Army's transport units almost in comparison, but way more durable. The only thing that sucks is that he doesn't have transport capability, so he's not actually a transport.
He also has built-in armor of contempt.
Yeah, he built an armor of contempt. Then he has 3 big bricks of Grot tanks. Boom. 3 6-man units, or sorry, 3 8-man units of Grot tanks, all with the rockets, of course, because you love the rockets. You know, and we've seen even 2 big units of Grot tanks or 2 small units of Grot tanks brought on list is actually pretty useful and viable. Then he has 1 kill tank with the Giga Shooter. I much prefer the cannon. The flat 3 throwing thunder hammers downfield and such like that. I know on paper you're like, I get more shots, like a sustained, and offsets the Orks bad ballistic skill, but in reality, having just thunder hammers throwing downfield and just hitting people with them is freaking awesome. It's a great strength 12, I believe, too, so you love that. Then we have 3 individual mech guns that have the Bubba Chuckas. So on the good side, you'll have your anti-infantry, maybe anti-armor shots, but you don't really know what's going to happen. You just kind of roll in, you figure it out. So what are some thoughts we want to say on this list? 1, right off the bat, if you're going to have the kill tank, I hope you have something to put in it. I know you don't want to. I don't even know if 3 mechs will you want the 3 mechs for the ground mega tanks you're thinking? And the kill tank? I mean, I could see, I can see that. I mean, I could see you dropping 1 mech. I'd like to see Snagga on this list, to be honest. Not only because he's thematic, but he actually fights and he makes super runs that you could actually start to throw somewhere in the middle, and he would make it interesting to put him in a vehicle if you really wanted to. I mean, he doesn't get them. They can't scout unless it's a truck, because it has to be a dedicated transport to adopt that keyword. But you could put him in the kill tank and then something could come out and he could still fight. That's the thing. You actually don't have anything that can melee scrap on this whole list. That's the one thing I don't appreciate, even though I understand it's a grot list. You kind of still want something that can get someone off you or finish someone off if your one phase doesn't go off.
Yeah, you're going to give people the wrong impression that Grots can't fight.
Yeah, and Grots can fight, but you need Snagga, and he gives him +1 to wound and +1 to hit. That helps a lot. And then that makes it a 20-man unit. It's just, what would you drop for these? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what would you drop in order to get that? Because this list has like no fat. You'd have to start with a mech. You have to start with a mech.
Do you really need 3 fat units of Grot tanks?
I mean, you could get 1 3-man.
Yeah, 1 3-man.
I think because they start taking over the table space and everything, and they only have 24-inch range, I guess. So, yeah, if you drop one of these units, cut it in half just for more stuff. Bring more Grots, bring more the Run Herder, drop 1 mech, and that's the only way I would probably change this list, because ultimately it's a thematic list. Yeah. I just think you really do need a couple little punchies, and Snagga is sleepy good at punching. And if you can throw him in a 20-man unit, that could be fun. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, because you might need that 1 turn where you throw yourself into the middle of the table and actually contest an objective.
Yeah, with infiltrating becoming more popular as the meta progresses, it's a good option to have.
Yeah.
It's definitely a revolution I can get behind.
That's definitely a Grot revolution. Coming with all the rockets, my goodness, making it rain. And we got a new channel member, Mr. Two, with them songs. Whoa! All right, hold on. I think someone's asking a question too. Oh, look at all these emojis. I appreciate you kids throwing them emojis. I run a Mecha Track. It's not the worst. He's really not the worst. I think the Mecha Track's a little better. I love the Mecha Track as my personal favorite buggy. How many emojis? Yeah, we have a bunch of emojis, and the more members have joined, we actually allow more to come out. We got Death Dreads, we got Warbosses, we got Squigs, we got everything. Fun list, but do you know they're gonna play fixed to bring it down hard versus this? Yes. The one good thing is that they don't have a bunch of characters on this list, so they're not going to have 2 fixed options. As an Ork player, you're going to have to give up 1. Just don't give up 2.
Well, I guess to jump back on how you said it was lacking some fighting, if they take, what is it, the one in the middle? Teleport home? But you have nothing really to like push and get them off that center.
Yeah.
So that'd be another reason to bring some melee on the list.
I think you need to be a channel member. It's cheap, and you guys make a lot of content. Thanks, Channel Pony. And yeah, it's I don't know, depending on where you're at, it's like $2 a member. I don't know if people can always be members, but I know if you go to Patreon, because some countries can't. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got Patreon up to.
Yeah, and some people give them. So if you ever see, check should guy to get a free one, because people sometimes just give them away, the memberships, and then you guys get them for free. I'm not sure what happened when I created the list. New list based on your advice last time, but when I shared it, Pastebin, it sent the first one. I don't know what happened. No, Fedora. Okay, well then I guess we gave the same. Did we just give the same response as last time? Like, man, I want that. Maybe. I want to stop it for fun, but GSW still doesn't have it in stock. Oh, that's rough. You'd be surprised at some like sleepy GW shops where they have them or something. Or like game or game hobby stores. Sorry. We'll put the pictures back up while I reply to your chats too, because there's no reason you guys can't look at that instead of my face. Warboss, support for the War Boys. We appreciate you joining, and you gave us a nice Warboss emoji in response. I love that. What's another? You know what, guys? I think the Death Dread. Let me get a Death Dread, because we just seen a Death Dread here. Let me see the Death Dread emoji thrown back at us, guys, because I actually think that emoji's pretty sick. They did a great job. They got a designer on that. some Death Dread emojis, as it's always slept on, and Death Dread doesn't get some play right now in the game, so you might as well get it in our chat. Here's a Captain Badrook, which is super freaking clean, considering that this is like resin. Right?
Those are so hard to paint.
Super hard to paint. He made it look very good. This doesn't even look like resin from this picture. I know it's a little dark from some of y'all, but great job, whoever this is. He put the checker pad in there. Still kept it bright from the flash kits being nice and fancy, but I think it's awesome.
I like the olive green too look here.
I think that's vital for Captain Badrook. Then we have another list, right? Nice picture of a compilation of different stuff put together. So you can see there's a warboss in the front with this pink squig. He looks really good. Those eyes, dude, those cat-like eyes on that mounty bitey squig are so freaking sick.
I appreciate your effort.
That was actually pretty sick, dude, because mine just has a red dot on his eye, just being straight up. And then the other one is another pink squig. So he has his squigs are all pink, which is actually kind of fun, right? Because at first you want to laugh at it, but it's better. Then he has the Sag Big Mac with shock attack gun. Great job there. I can see he's airbrushing too. Yeah. So he's doing a freaking great job for the fact that he's airbrushing.
Right. Awesome.
And then there's another herder in the background with a different kind of poker. One as a poker, one as a grabber. And then boom, a knob in the background with his baby little squig on the top. So he did a great job. These are all really done well. And there's the orange kind of passively with the metal look. I think that's very orky. It's a very, very orky look right here you pulled off because it's majority metal, not a majority color, which is great. But then the color's really sticking out between the squigs and the orc skin. Then we have some dirty boys, but they look really freaking good. This is another one where these guys are attention to detail. You can see on these knobs, on the bands along their arm, how the person actually really made them distinct with some, he probably used some, like some Nolan oil, stuff like that, and brushed over it to really make sure that he got in every one of those crevices, and then he made it dirty right after. That's like a mixture of using contrast as such. So he did good because that's patient. And then the skin, look at that skin. I'd like to hear how he actually did that skin. It's like much different than what I do. If you guys want to know what I do, my colors are more like a strong, bright green. I don't run like the olive green like a lot of other orc players. I appreciate it, but that's the opposite of what I run. So whenever I see it painted, I think it looks freaking awesome, especially when you optimize it this good. And then he has a weird blue right there, right? It's really Death Scully blue.
Yeah, you did a good job of shading the blue too on the banner.
You can see some of it's darker and lighter than the other. It can't look too clean because then you look like a space marine. Oh, beautiful warboss. Dang, this dude looks like some box art right here, boys. Dang, talking about Death Dread walking to the bench because I'm expensive. Yeah, walking up to that second, the Death Dread walking off the table into the crowd because he's like a little too expensive right now. Yeah, I mean, he can get it, he can get cheaper. He can get cheaper as time goes on, is really what's happened. But like I said before, he should be 85 points.
Yeah.
Right? Like 85, maybe 100 points to have that on. Then we have the Roboto. I don't know what I just did making that noise, guys. Sorry about that.
He threw me off.
Oh, wait. What do you say? You could do a great Macho Man Randy Savage impersonation. Could I? Dang, I had to practice that. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest. Do I? Do I know how to do it? Here, David, read this. I don't know. What does Randy Savage do?
He's one of the pro wrestlers.
Okay, but I don't know what he yells, though. All right, do you want to read this? Daggers gave us a shout out.
Our Daggers took all the super heavy lists to an RTT with Stampa, 2 Gorkanauts, a Gargantuan Squig Grots, 1 mech, a Mech Boy Workshop.
What the heck?
It was so fun. Didn't do too bad.
And that's amazing, dude. See what I mean? Daggers stay taking anything anywhere, and that's why I want my Gargantuan Squig because I want to do that too. I have a dream of running the Stampa and the Gorkanaut and Gargantuan Squig or something like that. Skewless always have a chance in 40K. That's something that I'll bring up. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Then we have this warboss looking like some box art, and then the Storm Boys looking like some more box art. So that guy was very, very consistent with how he kept his olive gray color and such like that, and what he got off here. So great job there. Then we have Death Dreads coming up. The Death Dreads. And Victor, thank you, Victor, talking about the Death Dreads in our chat. So then we have two talking about Pink Scorpion. So let's pull up another list, actually. Yeah. Ready for another list, guys? Let's pull up another list. Here we have, this is from Nerf Waaagh Chaos. So this is a beaky that I guess does both, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to go ahead with this, David, you want to read?
All right, we got Boss Zagstruck along with Captain Bad.
Woo! I'm already into this list. I'm sold. That's it. He bought Zagstruck. This is my boy now. All right, my boy, keep going.
All right, 5 units of Snagga boys. 1 unit of Flash Kits, 2 Gretchen, and 2 units of Commandos.
Okay,
here.
so he's going straight up for that pressure right there.
And 3 Stormboy units
Mhm.
and 3 War Bikers.
Okay, man, this is a lot of MSU and then all trucks.
6 trucks.
My goodness. So this is just straight MSU. There's no way that this can actually do bad. Like just straight up bad, you just can't. When you have this much ability to chaff, board control, hem people in, get up the table. The fact that he has 2 Stormboys means he can hold both of them in lanes, mid-table lanes, and then run up in there and really keep people off him. I personally still, even with these kind of lists, I like to see like the knob scalpel unit, because I think you just really need that one unit that you can actually punch out that one really problematic enemy unit, because sometimes people have units that are too efficient, and then they'll kill you when you charge them and finish you off, and they'll move on and pile in and shoot, charge something else. So sometimes you really do need that scalpel unit to remove that enemy unit.
So what would you drop here?
Yeah, it really comes down to, even though I love Boss Agstruck, do you keep Boss Agstruck, right? And then having 2 commando units, is that necessarily worth it? Do you need all the redundancy that you have here, or do you just keep the trucks? Do you downgrade one of these Snagga boys to a boy unit to reserve those points? So it really comes down to him, because it would be quite a big drastic change.
Right.
I'm just saying, if you can find a way that you feel comfortable to drastically change to have at least that one knob scalpel unit, you really might benefit from that. But there's a chance that you can just straight up play the mission with this, because Snagga boys on their own can fight, can crump. Right. Strength 6 is that threshold that matters. The knob matters in that unit. They're oddly annoying. They all have great OC. That's something that we should go over, point out on this list too. Each Snagga boy has 2 OC. Each Gretchen has 2 OC. Then each biker unit has 2 OC. Then the trucks all have OC, and then you have commandos that can end up. They don't have 2 OC, but they can end up anywhere they want to be to source secondaries.
Yeah, I would lean towards dropping a commando unit, and then maybe Zagstruck, because you really don't want your Storm Boys fighting.
Honestly, yeah, that's the thing, right? You could, and you can put some Zagstruck by himself, though. I don't know if he's doing that. He can let me know, but I love Zagstruck. It just comes down to, you really want that knob scalpel unit. You might drop one more biker unit instead of the Storm Boys, whatever it may be. I would say the cool thing about Zagstruck, I'll just call out so people know, because this is just a conversation, right, guys, is if you put Zagstruck, put him on a Storm Boy unit, then you say, here we go. You know what I'm saying? You can essentially have a missile all game, because the Storm Boys can always advance and charge the whole game. So you can get that unit just around the table and threaten people and just go like, all right, I'm going to stage right here, and then I'm going to, here we go, and advance and charge all game. If you choose to stick into a commando boy unit, I'm just letting people know that you can do that. I'm not saying he did that here. He might just put him alone. Actually, he's in chat, and he said he's to do him alone, and he's alone. So imagine dropping a war boss, boop, in people's backfield in the corner, because he has great toughness, feel no pain, and he fights with 6 attacks base. So I actually like him as a single harasser. It really does come down to, do you really care to have a scalpel unit? If you think you don't, because you have so much chaff that no one's going to kill this stuff anyways, then just keep it how it is. But this is actually a great MSU build kind of list. You have enough deep striking, you have enough stuff that can move. You actually gave yourself space by having double commandos. So I'm not even solely invested that I would tell you to reallocate it. If anything, this is just good for people to kind of reference and see that this is another version to run the 6 biker list. And what we've seen is people actually have enough stuff to kill 6 trucks. So you really do need to keep going with the bikers and the Storm Boys, and keep the MSU up and the commandos. It just comes down to like, hey man, if you go into like a chaos night list, you're just gone. You know what I mean? Like, not to be mean or anything. It's just that they're going to be able to pop the trucks, fight the dudes, pick them up. So there's going to be certain factions that you're going to have no plan to. But then there's going to be certain factions, like if you go into, Drakari or somebody, you're just going to table them and annoy them and beat them everywhere. But, you might struggle into maybe, let's say, the Space Marine Dreadnought Ironstorm list. They might actually be able to put enough shots everywhere, still be at full max potential with their killing, because you can't kill them at all, and then they just kind of still erode you too quickly. So there's that too. But overall, playing this fast MSU stuff like that, there's no way it can be a bad list. Since you're a skew, you're going to get hurt by skews too. And that's just the way of 40K.
Right there.
Yeah, and that's just the way of 40K. So nothing to be bad at, nothing to hate on. Let's see what some of your boys got to say. I just read what he said about the Randy Savage. That's hilarious. Okay. Pink squigs look cool. All right, yeah. I mean, I think pink squigs are pretty cool because they're different, right? What does this say right here, dude?
I want to do pale orcs, but haven't found a technique that works for me.
Oh man, and when you do pale, maybe we can ask the pale orc. I have one pale orc model literally on a bike. I could show him eventually again. He just took a lot of layers. He just took a lot of time. That's why I didn't do the whole army like that. But I actually considered doing the whole army like that, and I just didn't because of that. Will make it Orky. I think I said that correctly. I don't know, dude, but you're a chicken sandwich, so I love it. All right, let's see. Eddie, just say, "Oh yeah," after every sentence, and your Macho Man impression is done. Oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. Like, or is it? Oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. Like that. Kind of like,
after everything you say.
Okay. Okay. Oh, after everything I say, I might lose subscribers, but yeah. But thank you. That's awesome. So let's see what happens. Oh, and here's the Eldar looted truck. Pretty sick, huh?
Oh yeah. You did a great job.
Pretty sick. That guy did a great job. We actually have 2 pictures, and he put the rocket in there. This guy's awesome. And we seen his whole army earlier when we looked at the picture. Stompa killed Magnus, Mortarion, and a Catan in combat with a +1 to hit with the mech. Dude, yeah, because he goes crazy. You're like, I'm just gonna 12 damage. You know, or whatever, like 9 damage, I think he does. Sorry, the Gargantua's quick out this 9, 12 damage or whatever, but it's obnoxious to the punches you go to. I wish he was 600 points. It would make an Ork Knights list so much more playable. Yes, dude. And the fact that they made the Lorkanaut and the Morkanaut kind of like Titanic, whatever. Yeah, you do. He does need to drop to 600. Will GW do that? No. Is GW scared of the Ork might, tenacity, and firepower? Yes. Yeah, because in every Ork lore book that a Stompa makes it on the field or Gargant, all the Imperium's like, oh no. So that's good that, you know, GW had to, like, they say, oh no, internally, so they don't ever let it go below 600 points. You know, they got to keep it at 800. Crazy. You know, it's fine. They can be scared. I don't mind. Whoa! So I guess we didn't get some more. Oh, here we go. Whoa! More. Oh, that's mine. Yeah, that's yours. You get. He said, I agree. Get 3 commandos instead. Blood X rule. Yeah, Blood X do rule. Hey, brutal but cunning. Posted my bosses. There we go. Oh, and he said Zaggy is solo. So confirmation that Zagstruck is solo. And I love Zagstruck. We have a short with Zagstruck, and he's crumping, and I have to get some more editing in there. But David has more, and I have to get more voicing in there. But we have him in more rounds. Whoa, let's go. Twincher. I don't know what that was. Can I? Twincher?
Oh, that's
Twincher. That's his name. I don't know. I don't know how to read. It's a shame we can't have 2 Stompas and 18 Death Copters in a list. Not yet. Not yet. But eventually, we all know that the Death Copter would carry that list. He says, I even reserve 1 squad of bikes and 1 squad of Gretchen. Yeah. So he puts the bikes off the side and then puts the Gretchen. I've heard people doing it with the Gretchen for sure. The bikers could be interesting because typically they move already. But if they come in and they move even more, so that could be interesting right there. And like I said, it's a skew, dude, and the skews always have great plans to some people, and then they can run into another skew and they're like, oops, you know? So you'll be good there. Yeah, and it's a great list, though, regardless. You're just going for all scoring, and that's never bad. I agree with the Stompa for 600 points. It would be great having the mechs fix 2D3. Man, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because he did the mech fix it and the mech workshop. That's hilarious. But yeah, I guess because most people aren't going to one-shot him, right? Oh, wait, I just skipped somebody's chat. Next week, I'm running 2 units of war bosses and 10 nugs in a truck. Should I have both with power claws or one with? No, you should have both with power claws, to be honest. Yeah, both with power claws. And that's actually not a bad list by any means, my friend. So great job there running that double scalpel. It does take you to be very precise with what you're doing because now you have 2 very expensive units. That's, you know, very expensive to run the war boss and the knobs to us. But remember, fighting in death is always your friend. So, you know, don't be scared to do that in certain situations. My way and looted truck. The glyphs say knife ears on the vehicle. Oh, that's sick. That's you. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Let me guess. You have 20 Death Copters in the background. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. After Eddie Squigoff, I might have to make a second Stompa. Dang, a cheeky git, ain't ya? Because I do have my Gargantuan Squigoff coming from daggers, you guys. Can't wait to run that because I'm going to start running that in events and just throw people off the rocker. They're going to be like, what's happening? I'll be like, I'm here to get stuck in. They're going to be like, dude, what's the meta? I don't have one. You know, just roll up. So this is an awesome pick. It looks like someone maybe made a Mega Knob. I can't see the other side of this, but I thought it was sick how they just stuck a grot on the side of the shield. And was like, here you go.
It has to be a Mega Knob, right? Because
it has to be a Mega Knob because he has a commie weapon. He has the top part. So this is just a Mega Knob in a different way, kind of like a Bullgrim, and that's super sick. So whoever did this, you're very creative. That's beautiful. I'm not sure where you even got that runt. I think he's on a kit for sure because there's so many different kits of like runts and squigs. So let me get some grots in the chat. You guys got the grot emojis. Let me see the grot emoji because right now this grot's getting destroyed. The orc stuck him on the side. Like, I think this enhances my shield by 20% defense. Like, you know, like, poor grot, dude. We're grot getting wrecked. All right, here we have an awesome display. You can see that each of these guys has a different display because in the background you can see like a Bane blade and all these different Yarmy. So this is like a display. This is actually intended to show off. So you can see Defcopter's here. The Morkanaut actually back there. It's not a Gorkanaut because you can see his custom Mega Blaster. He has some Meganaut standing in front of it. A Battle Wagon with that awesome, very thematic paint job. She still has his Grabbing Claw on his because my Grabbing Claw got broke off mine. And then we have the 3 Defcopters. So this is a beautiful. I love Bad Moons. It was actually one of the first clans that I ever seen like fully painted, and I was like, YOLO, that looks crazy good. But then I actually tried to paint it and I was like, never mind. You guys can be crazy good. I'm good. So that's pretty funny. Isn't that Grot from the Mech Gun crew? Oh wait, never mind. He holds his hands different. I think his head is pretty common, but I'm not sure where his body comes from. I want to say he's like a Storm Boy Grot, to be honest, because a lot of those boys are like those Grots are reaching. So he might be a Grot body off a Storm Boy. Or
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like
or a buggy.
top torsos from an existing kit, and then he customized the bottom of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the way it sits on that shield looks so perfect. Like it was made that way.
Yeah, it does. So it is what it is. Then we go to the next picture. Another wall and a bottle of whiskey in the background. Very nice, very nice. That time of the year, guys. Yep. So again, I like this orange kind of rustic look. And then
matches with the whiskey too.
It matches with the whiskey, so that was intention, I'm sure. What I'm really gonna say is this Mazrog. This Mazrog, he did a great job. He made it look like a great white shark. Yeah. Essentially. So that's pretty sick right there, how he did that.
I like how dirty the teeth are too.
Yeah, this is a very different looking Mazrog from a lot of the other ones I've seen and posted. And you can see behind that, he has a Captain Badrook creeping around that corner too. Right over his shoulder. So that looks pretty sick right there. But with that being said, talking about really sick, let's look at another orc list. So here we have Bead Spud. So Bead Spun's list. We have Captain Badrook, followed by Mazrog Scragbag. Nabmas Magic Squig with Ed Wappa's Kill Chopper. Another Nabmas Magic Squig. Another Nabmas Magic Squig. This sounds like a beast Snagga list. 1 Warboss, 2 trucks, Flash Gits, 2 units of Gretchen, 1 Scalpel unit of Knobs, 3 big bricks of Squig Hog boys, 2 Storm Boys, and the Warbiker unit. Boom.
This list has plenty of punch here.
There's nothing honestly Beadspoint I can say about this list as to adjust it, because we've seen this list point per point perform on the GT level on lists that we've covered. It's really gonna come down to what missions you play and who you're going into. I'll tell you right now, if you go into someone that has a lot of Nurglings infiltrating or someone that's trying to move block you, they're gonna look at your list and say, I can hold back almost his entire list if I just fill up these lanes, and they can just push you in your deployment zone. Other than that, you're really going to have great options for when you want to use Overwatch, Threat Saturation, Artist Nails, Unbridled Carnage, everything like that's going to be really optimal. This is going to be just straight up the character. It's going to come up to you and how you maximize this list. The one thing I would say is there's a chance you just want to put one of these knob units into Squig Hogboy units into reserves, and then rapiding rest them in so you don't get stuffed. He has 2 trucks. Yeah, that's also I'm saying you really got to pay attention to that, because you might want to throw one of those units into reserves, even your truck, maybe your knob truck unit, you don't want it to get lanced, whatever it is, you can put him in reserve, so don't be scared about that. But either way, something might want to end up going to strategic reserves when you're running this much bricks. As for the competitiveness of this list, how could it not be competitive when you're bringing so many Maximum Squig Hog Boys and the Flash Kicks and the Warboss and Knobs? You pretty much brought all the best orc data sheets and you said, here we go, right? So you're going to have play into just about everybody and everything. There's going to be very few things that are hard for you to deal with. It's going to come down to the actual control you have as a character, as a player, right? And we've seen people even use less Squig Hog Boys because they'd rather have more stuff. So at the end of this list, you might find, I don't know what your meta is. I assume you're playing GW terrain. GW terrain actually is okay with this because you're going to have to stand in the middle on objectives anyway. So having these bricks is going to be good for you. So yeah, excellent list. We've seen it perform on so many different levels. I'm sure you're going to have great success here, Beadspawn.
Oh, right? For sure. Yep.
Yeah, great list. And obviously you've been paying attention to either our streams or your own games, because everything here, there's no fat on this list. 2 trucks is just enough, and the boys 2. So let's go with some more picks and more chats. What do you say? Plus 50 points for South Park. I love South Park. Then we have, and he said he's a Storm Boy Grot. He's a Storm Boy Grot, because usually they're on the side like that, and they're like reaching out, and they have grenades and stuff. Here we have another Nabon Squig. Look, this guy looks different than every other one because he has a purple squig. In normal time, you're like, he's being sneaky. Well, you're not being sneaky if you have a knob on top of you going, whoa, running at people. There's no sneak involved here. So, you know, he was he was spawned as a sneaky squig, and then it just didn't go that way. Then we have a very fancy, you know, I think this is one of those things that pictures don't do it justice, but you can see the muscle definition on this guy. You can see every little line in between this gray squig and the changing of the color. He even did the lips for the squig. The basing is done very well between all the little bushes and the little skulls. So this is one of those things, as a person that's not really into hobbying, you might look at this and think, oh, not much. But he really put a lot into this to get the discoloration where he wants it.
Yeah, he did a great job on the squig, like the tone of the flesh.
Yeah, I also looks like him. Sorry, I was getting too excited. One thing I want to point out too is that he kept true to the snake bites by putting the S as yellow on the snake bites on the bass of that Mazrog's crack bag. And I think people forget that Mazrog and all these beast Snagga boys are actually just from a clan, and the clan is just snake bites. People forget that. It's like, oh, what's going on? That's why I don't think they're gonna have a snake bite detachment, because they just took the whole snake bites and they just would have made them into their old data sheets, kind of in their own way, you know. And if you look at a lot of your beast Snagga models, you're going to see a lot of them have S's. And if you ever wonder, or snakes, if you ever wonder that's literally because they're all just snake bites. So really interesting there. Then we have a nice, clean, direct warboss with actually pretty great background they put in there, right? Did actually pretty great job there.
Makes it look like he's actually standing.
Yeah, like he's standing. Hello, look at me. And he's in a solid black reach model, old as heck and shit. You know, not even that impressive, but look pretty good. I mean, I think he did good. I mean, this is one of those things where you can have a great looking model without going over the top in every little detail, because at the end of the day, you're looking at the model from far away.
Yes.
So great job there.
Oh, is this a custom?
These are custom death copters.
That first one is? Right?
Yeah. Custom death copters. I think the paint job on these death copters is freaking immaculate. The fact that it's a blend of like a purple and an odd blue, very unusual, very different on that. And those bases, I mean, I'm sure he bought those bases somewhere if he didn't himself 3D print them. Right? They look quite different than most other ones. And then I don't know where he got that model. Maybe he 3D printed that weird kind of pocket rocket kind of old school single propeller plane on his own, but as a whole, I think he looks freaking beautiful in what they did. The fact that he was willing to go outside of the box with that death copter, not care about the model for advantage, just go for the beautiful death copter, and hopefully that's the one that has a custom mega blaster or something on there, right?
Yeah, and I like he chose his unique blue here, and it just meshes real well with that purple.
Yeah, that's such a good coloring, dude. My God, that's such a really good coloring, man. Did he use the airbrush there? I mean, I might guess, or did he just straight up himself? Looks kind of airbrushing, to be honest, maybe, but it's probably a mixture of both. But something so simple as a death copter unit, put this much work into it to make it look sick. I assume his army as a whole looks freaking sick.
Yeah, I just don't know about those Humi color orcs.
Oh, okay, I was going to point that out too. The one thing that we can all, everybody in chat, let me see a orc boy. We have to remind the git that green is best. Whoa! Oh. So let me see some orc boys, the emoji in chat, because these orc boys are looking like corn boys. Oh, let me see you get what's going on here. No, I was kidding. No, it looks great, dude. Honestly, I think it's okay to be out of the box different. We're just giving you a hard time. But I think that looks really good. No shame at all. We were just giving you a hard time, I promise. We're just having fun. Then we have the what the heck is this, Daggers? What the heck are these frogs emojis? Daggers is coming over here with the Aldi brand secondhand emojis.
Forget what an orc boy looks like.
He's like, I gotta get in here somehow. Just put some little green. You know what? If you're not a member and you still want to show you're following along, go ahead and put a frog like this.
It's all good.
Yeah, I know some countries can't be members, to be honest. So that's why I'm not hating on them here. But everybody else, just for the fact that some people can't do it, let me see them in the chat. All right, and then we'll go on to we on a list here, right, David? That's what we're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's pull up a list. Let's pull up a list here. We have Slapshot's list. All right, Slapshot. Let's see what's going on. He has an orc party. That's what he called it.
What does party stand for?
Keep in mind, boys, it's 1970 points. So be prepared to be critical and try to find more ways for us to spend points, right? Let's put our thinking grots on, get our thinking grot, stick them on our heads, rip his legs off as he time around our chins. All right, so let's see. We got Big Mech and Mega Armor with Cunning but Brutal. I actually really like that, to be honest. Then we have Captain Badrock, beautiful. Now Smash Quick, at Wapas Kid Chopper, the way I like to see it, and then Warboss and Mega Armor with Follow Me Lad. So as we can see, guys, he's already 30 points left over, and he has every enhancement. So we can't make that as an easy option. We have to choose where we're going to try to find these points. Then we have a Weird Boy. Is he going solo? Is the real question.
He's going solo.
Maybe there's 2 units of Weird Boy. There's 2 units of Boys here, so they can go with 2 individual Boys units, or not. So then we have a truck, a battle wagon, a Death Dread.
Oh, let's get Death Dreads in the chat.
Let me get some Death Dreads in chat because he actually brought them on a list. With all arms too, which is how I like them, because that's someone you can bring in from Ingress. Put the Death Dread in reserve. If you're gonna bring him, always reserve that ugly git. Put him in there, ingress him in. At least you can get 1 charge off, hopefully, and at least attempt to tank shock someone, right? Death Copters are where they're at. If you got the points, put the Death Copters in. Flash Gits. This is a small unit of Flash Gits with Badrock. If you don't have the other ones, okay, but I'm very, very inclined bring a 10-man unit, right? But if I just assume you just don't have 10, then you have 2 units of Gretchen, 1 unit of Commandos, 1 3-man unit of Mega Knobs, 1 big unit of Mega Knobs, Rugged Truck Squig Buggy, 1 single Squig Hog Boy unit, Storm Boys, and a War Biker unit. So I assume you don't just have a lot of Squig Hog Boys. That's why you're not spamming them, but it's okay because really you just need that 1 knob to get off, with 1 Squig Hog Boy left over. So he's still hitting on 2s. Get that +1 to hit, throw them dev wounds in. He's still very viable, and you still get the mine, so nothing wrong with that. Rugged Truck Squig Buggy, like we talked about before, he can actually play into a lot of the different meta units and lists right now. Having a Storm Boy and a War Biker unit is great for that scoring potential. You do have a single Mega Knob unit of 3-man unit.
There's 2 Mega Armor
characters. Right? And you have 2 Mega Armored characters. So it comes down to I don't know what models you own or what you can substitute in here, but you might want to start removing an enhancement or 2, honestly, to try to fit another single Mega Knob or 2 Mega Knobs to try to really fill out these Mega Knob units, because they both maximize from having more, not less. And if you're going to have just a 3-man unit, I don't really know if either one of these characters are greatly supported by a 3-man unit. So I don't know what else you own, to be honest, to say to bring more of that, but you might want more of that because what's going in your battle wagon, I assume one of those big bricks of Mega Knobs is going in your battle wagons, and then truck's getting another one. You do have the Commandos to take board control. I like that. Your list does have scoring, board control presence, killy. It does have AP. It has multi-damage with the Death Dread. It has transports with the truck and the battle wagon. I'm just not seeing what each of these 10-man units of Boys are doing. I'm not sure if you need the 10-man units of Boys to even go with the Weird Boy. He can go solo. A lot of time he'll bring him solo because he's way harder to screen, and you're really just using him to score secondaries. And if you do roll that 1, at least you're not taking a whole Boys unit out of play when you roll that 1, right? When you don't get the teleport you off.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't really know what else you own. I don't think I actually got that in the chat. I'll do a double check again, but one thing I would really like to see is either fill out this Flash Kit units, maybe get these Mega Knobs going a little more, or swap them for some knobs if you're going to really go for that killy potential, because you get more volume of attack and punches. And that's something you really, really need with Orks in general. They just appreciate that in Orks in general. Do I hate this list? No. I think this is clearly someone who's using a little bit of everything, really maximizing their collection, having a good time, maximizing what they do own, not being pressured to use just what's meta, but then they still have a lot of good stuff here. So there are things you're going to have to really work to overcome. David, is there anything that you can see here? Because like I said, I don't really know. He said
really going to come down to what he owns.
He said he's working on getting a war boss, and another truck or Death Killer War Trick added to the list. He said he's done good against Nids and Knights. We don't know what those lists look like, but it's okay. He says he says it ends up good at scoring in secondaries, but not killy and not killy, and that's the issue, right? But a lot of fights end up to be uphill, and I think that's what it is. You get on that war boss, that'll help you, and then use them and knobs instead of a Mega Knob and knobs, because they just don't have the volume or the accuracy to get the punches off. So you could swap those out for that. It would help the fact that you have those 30 leftover points. I would really say you do not want 30 points left over on your list. So by any means, by whatever you own, don't do that. Just to be honest, like even if you drop Follow Me Lads, honestly, I'm sorry, Cunning but Brutal or Follow Me Lads, and then you just throw in another units of Gretchen. I would even rather you prefer that, because you just more bodies. Even having more Gretchen, guys, don't sleep on it. A lot of people are like, "What, you my Gretchen? Take your Gretchen and advance them up the table." right? If you just have a 30 and you want to do with them, hey man, throw that 10-man unit up the table, because you're gonna have to force people to shoot at them. They have great OC, they start touching it and tagging it. So even adding that 10-man unit in your head might be like, oh, I'd rather have follow me lads. You really would rather have 20 more OC. Exactly. You know, so sleeping on that, and then you can strategic reserve that, like we talked about before, right? Put it on the side of the table, bring him in. Now he's farther up the table, and you start going touching objectives. So that's what I think with that. You're obviously doing okay. You already score secondaries. Maybe drop an enhancement, bring another grot unit in. I don't like you being under 30 points. And if you have to get a kill unit, I say if you don't want to go Squig Hog Boys because that's too boring and meta, go ahead and go Knobs and War Bosses, because that covers other units such as Armor of Contempt problems and stuff like that. So overall, good list. Nothing to scoff at. And like you said, you've been having good success. And we have a gifted 5 wall tactic memberships with Gifted Joe. Whoa! Let's get some War Bosses in chat. Let's get some whatever we got for him and collect those. That way we can get more emojis going in chat. Maybe poor Daggers can end up getting one, so you can stop sharing a frog. Poor Git. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Brandon, because he's looking all sad out here with one either. Yeah, sorry, boys, just got on. From a nap. Yeah, Ricky Joe just woke up and he just immediately dropped some memberships in there. So thank you greatly. I'm pretty sure we showed some of your pictures on the list earlier, even though I know you weren't around. Sorry, boys, just got in. Warballs Brandon said, got time to peep the new list. Your list or the list in general? Because we have the list posted up already that we picked for the day. Let's see. Grot wins. Yeah, we got Grots win games. Grots do. Daggers again with more frogs. Poor frog. Poor frog. Broke boy. And he's like, oh, I can't get in there. Yeah, because he hadn't joined. It's not even his fault. Pretty sure you just can't join membership. Yeah, but I'm still gonna keep teasing you. I'm just letting you know we're gonna joke about it. Wicked Joe bringing the chopper to a gunfight. There's nothing wrong with that. We all like the bringing the chopper to a gunfight. It's better. All right, let's move to the next one. Yeah, Dagger says he don't think he can join. It's not even his fault. Yeah.
Where is he from?
England.
England.
Which I'm surprised because I thought other people could.
Really?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Then we have games.
We'll see. And then we have another Mazrog with another very well distinct gray paint scheme. I think this might be the same guy, just him pulled off by himself.
Yeah, this is the same guy.
So great job there. The Mega Knobs again, but these guys are a bit more cleaner looking picture, and you can see in the background he has some def some kill cans Star back there, and then he has another unit of Mega Knobs in a different color scheme back there. So I just wanted to show this because I thought it was pretty cool.
Let's get some Mega Knobs in the chat.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and it looks like someone already collected the new membership. Whoa! Look at Wicked Joe getting some more of our gits. You know, now you got your little run and your little emoji next to you guys, and you guys are going to start evolving. If you stay members, it's going to be pretty dope. You become Ork Boys and you become other things like that too, right, David?
Yeah. What's going on with these pumpkins in chat?
I don't know what the pumpkin is.
Where are these coming from?
I don't know. He's a pumpkin git, right? Then we have a truck looking beautiful. I like yellow a lot, guys. And if you got, it's too bad it's old, but there's an old bat rep with Winter's SEO, and he played against a Bad Moons army back in like 9th edition, 8th edition. And that was the first bat rep that really got me into 40K and watching it. And it was all yellow. So even though my stuff's purple and I'm really into a lot of other stuff, the yellow orcs just have a super place in my heart because I think they're astonishing when you see them on a tabletop. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. We got a bunch of war bosses. Whoa! We run to the chat. That's what I'm talking about, boys. There we get them emojis going. What's up? What did he say right here? Don't forget to mention Patreon face. Tongue out face. Oh, yeah. That's the squig. The face means it's a squig. Yeah, and then we do have Patreon. Sorry for you guys that don't know. You get Patreon members. You guys obviously get added into the chat. You get badges too, but then you also get the raffles. You get them
no, we're still figuring out the perks for everything, so bear with us.
We already put out content pretty regularly, so we need to find something that's worth it to give you guys an offering, and we don't want to give less content because we kind of like where we're at anyways. Really, we just allow this to be a way for you guys to choose to support us if you want, and it shows us support, and then it makes also the community look awesome if everybody gets badges and gets stuff. So really, it's not like, we're thirsty to get a ton of new perks and make you guys send us a bunch of benefits, because really we want to just keep doing content and get the wall growing, the community going, and just get you guys involved. So it's great when you guys member each other and help each other out for that reason. What about 3 Death Dreads with the Scorcher struggling against GSC for a bit? Yeah, that's actually where Burner Boys can actually come into play, even if you don't bring a Death Dread himself. If you're gonna bring them though, 3 Scorchers, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I've said that before. That's the good thing about the Death Dread, that he can get triples as a gun. If he's gonna go out rocket and you give him mech, give him +1 to hit. But if you're going to talk about just straight Scorchers, I mean, you can bring Burner Boys for half the cost, and put them in a truck so they're kind of safe, move around, get re-rolls on the wound roll, stuff like that.
Yeah, you got knobs. You run the SWAT team.
Yeah,
five
SWAT team.
5 of each.
A lot of people are having success with SWAT team. They go 5 burner boys and 5 flash kits actually sometimes too, instead of knobs. That because knobs still punch, but they also double down on the fact that both of those data sheets are shooting out of the transport. Right. So you can go SWAT if that's you're coming with that problem, or just burners in general help a lot with that. Mega knobs, here we go. A lot of people are sending mega knobs. That's what I'm talking about. My mega knobs in chat. It's about time we got that mega knob love. Man, I've been saying that for a month, right? Since the tier list, I've been talking about mega knobs in and out. People looked at me, post data slate. Remember in that video, you little gits, I talked about mega knobs in that too. I said they're going to be prevalent in 2-man units because people are going to have to shoot them away and it's going to be super annoying. So, bam, I'm not off my rocker, but this Captain Badrook is definitely rocking though. Look at that. My goodness. This guy, is this the same guy that did the, I think this is the same guy that did the Coptus. It has to, right? Because it has the blue tinge still too.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Different.
Okay, then I'm just not a keen. I'm just not a keen git. But yeah, that looks super good. Very, very nice. I wish I could zoom in a little more, but very good. In the pattern on the bottom, this dude looks like a Tron.
Looks like he's on the dance floor.
Yeah, he thinks he's a Tron movie. And then his little cape is, this guy just put so many colors, but it doesn't look overwhelming amount of colors and doesn't make anything stand out and look dumb. He did a really, really good job. I would say maybe the green slightly different, but even then he has so many other bright greens that the fact that he made the green like a bluish hinge makes it so it's different. You know, that's the orc skin. So I can't even hate on that. It's like a steely green blue, which is different.
Right.
Then we have this fun picture of someone's Mazrog scrag bag ripping up a Black Templar. So he's chewing on this Black Templar, eating them up right now. He's waiting to move on to the next charge phase, getting stuck in and everything like that. So let's look at another list.
Let's go. What do we got next? Oh, there's a 1K list.
So we have the one and only K-Live list. Right? So the K-Live list is 1,000 points tournament, such like that. Keep in mind, guys, here it says right here, the boards will be 44 by 30. That's what it says, right? Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's half the board.
So yeah, that's actually going to be the difference because normally in 1K they're running the whole table. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
So commandos are going to be huge in this game.
Yeah,
or because that's not commandos, but Snickra.
Yeah, because what's interesting is normally on the 1K you want a lot of fast stuff, because the board's so big that Ork can actually deal with it. But this one he's actually gonna have to kind of fight in the middle a little bit sometimes. So let's see what's going on here. We have a Big Mac with shock attack gun, boss Snickra, 2 war bosses, 2 units of Boyz, trucks, Gretchen, 2 mech guns with custom mega cannons, 2 Stormboy units, 2 Warbikers units. He figures the mech guns and the shock attack gun can pretty much shoot and screen. So they'll screen his back table, but then they'll also shoot up the table with good AP and good strength. And Snickra can help by himself to run around and score secondaries, which is true. He acts like a silly assassin, like in his own way. Now, the one thing on this list that I would point to your attention is that if people do come, because sometimes 1,000 points, they're like, here's a Redemptor Dreadnought, or here's this weird Terminator 5-man unit. You don't really have necessarily anything that can just straight up fight them, but your weird mech guns and your shock attack gun could end up being interesting in that way.
Right.
I would say for sure though, that warboss and boy unit needs to go off on the wall because you need the warboss with his 9 attacks to really go into something and crump. Right, because that's the one thing is you do have a bit more shooting and scoring, but yet you're still playing on that small table. Right, typically this list would actually look pretty good if you're playing on a full 1K table, like where you play the whole table still.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But this one is trying to play the half table, I believe. So that makes it so this list is not as optimal as it would be if you were playing on a proper full 1K table. Do I hate it? No, not at all. Like I said, this is actually a pretty good 1K list. In this situation, though, you're going to really end up kind of hoping those mech guns roll good enough and that you slow people down enough while still being able to score. Really optimize your OC, because the one thing you got on this list going for you is good OC. You do got some Gretchen. Your Warbikers all have OC. Your Boyz all have decent OC. Overwatch is going to be your greatest enemy in this list too, though, because a lot of your stuff is pretty soft.
Yeah, right? That's true.
So on a small table where you have to force these interactions, this is actually going to be a little bit harder to pull off than others. I think, right, than most other 1K lists. The only thing is I actually really think a Mazrog on this list will help you in that one situation. So instead of going for more techie, you really might need to stick a Mazrog on this list because you need something that can fight, hold people back, kind of do it all, and he kind of does it all, especially at 1K. If you're limited to, I have to stuff myself in the middle of the table.
Right. Yeah. Your lines here are pretty soft. Someone could just run you over and keep putting the pressure on you.
Yeah, I think so. Most people will still bring something like 400 points worth of killing.
Yes.
And then that might just run through your list. I'm not sure. And like I said, if it was a big full table, your list is freaking good, to be honest, because you're storm blowing, you're snick riding, you're doing all this stuff. Do kind of think you might have had to switch this list up. But actually, I think he said what is important is, yeah, what was he saying? Their teams list. I have a 5-man 1K team tournament on the 6th.
Is this part of it?
So is this like 1,000? Is this half of his points? It must be. No?
5-man 1K.
Yeah.
No, so it's a 1K tournament with 5 people on the team. So they're all playing still 1K games?
Yeah, I think so. Making sure I didn't misunderstand that.
So his cumulative score, and I wanted to take a well-rounded list.
Oh, because okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
In our experience with team tournaments, unless you're the guy that is bringing the well-rounded list, for the most part, you want to bring a skew list. So you can, I don't know how the rules go and how you guys pick up your matchups, but typically if you have a few skew lists on your team, you can pick the matchups that favor you. And if you're the list that's going to eat the bad matchups, then I guess you could just try to win on points against whoever you face.
Yeah, that's what that's really, you can see what he's trying to go for. Is I have too many activations and units. Right. I think it just also becomes an issue of where it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. If the strategy is just to score as many points as you can into a bad matchup, I can see how this list will work.
Yeah,
because cumulative score.
Because it is half. You're playing on essentially the combat patrol size table with this 44 by 30.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say maybe bring a Mothmog if you can or something, because this is actually a pretty solid list on a typical 1K list. But if you're running on a small table, you're going to suffer with stuff that can actually try to bully you. So still a great job, because I can see you have the right idea and you're thinking outside the box as a player, and your lists aren't bad at all. But because you give that stipulation that you're playing on a small table, there might be a problem, right?
Yeah.
And let's look at some of the chats real quick before we continue on, see what some of you get to say. Closes. I could get an orc glyph. Yeah.
About the frogs?
Yeah. That's the closest you can get. It's funny. Hey man, you're trying, man. He said, never ran Burner Boys. Are they good against anything above T4? Really, it comes down to they're good against anything that has good armor saves, because actually above T4 won't necessarily matter, considering they can reroll wounds if they get close enough and something's on an objective. Let's say, hey, you got Ravengers on an objective. Yeah, you get them. You can actually burner them down even though you're winning on 5s. But yeah, what it really is these super annoying, let's say you're going against Tyranids, right? And they have their gargoyles. Their gargoyles can move, advance, shoot, and then move again. Right? This is something where you have burner boys and you go, what? And you burn them off the table instead. You get what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily what's the most killy. It's what tech piece do you need into your meta. Do you play against Eldar? You might need to pick up some Eldar with their movement shenanigans, with their activations, with their annoyingness. You might want to Overwatch them. Scout Marines don't have great armor saves. You could Overwatch them too. So yeah, if they still work fine. There's plenty of there's Gene Stealers, there's Guardsmen, there's a bunch of stuff you could hypothetically still Overwatch that people kind of forget. There's Nurgling bases, there's a bunch of different stuff you still could do it too.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at them as your major damage dealer.
No,
more as a tool for specific scenarios.
Yep, they're like a follow-up matchup dependent list. Yep. Burners are underrated at the moment. Even MSU 120, and they even does recent and decent melee. Yeah. Why does Scorcher not get the melee profile? That's a good point for the Commandos. That'd be sick if the Scorcher in the Commandos unit had a -2 AP. That'd be a big deal.
He should be able to hit you with his Singeing Scorcher.
That's what the Burner Boys do. They have built-in -2 AP. I thought it was 500 combat patrol. Then it went full after we did that for our escalation at least. Yeah, I went down and then it went back up in the list on how many points there was. That was my Maz. He says, I love getting revenge when GW uses orcs as victims on bases. That's a Black Templar I grabbed by an orc. I made an orc warboss who looted his power sword. That's great. So I appreciate that. That's what I'm saying. It's true, because the orcs, GW uses orcs as punchy bags all the time. Here we have another beautiful list. This is another, I think another person with a great look at that
Looks
changing
like airbrush,
transitioning.
yeah.
I think it's the same guy, man. Because here's a Humi skin again.
There's
the
style
orange Humi
looks
skin.
similar to the. I was gonna say the style looks similar to the blue purple that we saw.
Yeah, there's Death Copter. No, there's the Death Copter again. I'm saying, look, he has the Humi skin again. It's not Umi. You can see it's actually slightly green. Now that I see this angle, it's actually a dark olive green.
Yeah.
Right, you can see that it is green, but we were giving him a hard time. Yeah, he still has that little purple on one of these guys is the banners and on the bottom, but you can see on the front he went for the full speed wall. Right, he went for that orange, that kind of flamer look, looking very, very good right there and quick and steely. Let's take another look at another orc list. We're getting close here. Let's see what's going on here. Boom. And now we got home. So home is the next list we're going to be covering. It looks like he has a 2,000 point list and he has Mega Knob. So let's take a look. So he has one Beast Boss, Big Mech in Mega Armor, Nobman Smasher Squig with Ed Wappa's Kill Chopper, a Pain Boss, a War Boss, and Mazrog Scrag Bag. So decent amount of characters, just 6, not too little, not too much. 20 Beast Snagga Boys, of course, with the Pain Boss. Then we got the Beast Snagga Boys, probably with the Beast Boss. 1 unit of Gretchen, 1 big unit of Mega Knobs for the Big Mech and Mega Armor. Yep, 1 unit of Knobs for the Scalpel unit, 2 Storm Boy units, the big Squig Hog Boy unit, and then a Hunter Rig for the 20-man unit, 3 trucks. Hey, so this list is coming to play in his own way, and I can greatly appreciate it. Here's the thing people forget. The Pain Boss is definitely going to try to heal Mazrog. So if you just decide I'm going to shoot, I'm going to leave Mazrog alone, he's going to go on pressure and then not try to kill him early. As you follow him with the Pain Boys, that he's going to get healed up and really be problemsome for the rest of the game. The Hunter Rig has the potential to be one shot, so make sure he's in cover, right? But overall, I love seeing it because now you have that jumping off platform for the rig. And you know for a fact where all your anti-tank is going to go if they see the Hunter Rig, knowing they can kill it. That means you can almost just straight up put your trucks in the middle of the table and just make up all that space. Of course, set up a space for them to disembark if they do shoot the truck or whatever. Make sure you don't get tagged too easily. But the point is, when you got a Hunter Rig with 20 boys in there, you know where your shots are going. They're going to shoot it, which means your Knobs and your Mega Knobs and your Mazrog and your Beast Boss on foot are going to get free reign, right? And then when your dudes do disembark from that transport that gets popped, you can heal some back. They might not even die because they feel no pain when it explodes, stuff like that. They can end up being great for OC. You can we go them and try to run up the table later. So even if they do pop that, it's not going to detriment to your list because it's only 160 points for the Hunter Rig. 160 points.
It's not bad.
And you can get lucky and just roll feel no pain. So this list is like, instead of running more Squig Hog Boys, right, and more kind of weird MSU skirmishing, really, like, imagine instead of 12 more Squig Hog Boys, right, or even 6, he took that off and he added essentially Hunter Rigs, right? And instead of looking for more scoring potential, he added more Beast Snagga Boys into this unit instead, and no flash kits. So he took off the flash kits and the Squig Hog Boys, and he said, I'm just going to bring a brick, and I'm going to bring still killing potential. So he still has great killing potential and holding potential because he has the anchor unit of the Mega Knobs.
Right.
So that Mega Knobs have a different profile to being shot. The Squig Hog Boys don't have to worry about holding, but they can run up and smash people down, which is interestingly enough. And the Knobs are still there for potential. And the Beast Boss on foot is going to get free roam to run up and do his damage because people are definitely going to focus on that mob when in reality that mob can either matter nothing at all or it can be great detriment. Like if you throw that mob into the middle of the table, Artist Nails on the wall with the Feel No Pain and the 5-up invuln, they're going to take most of the damage and small arm fire from your enemy, which means the rest of these units are going to be free reign. So I'd really like to hear follow-up how this list does. It looks really freaking cool. Yeah, and some games, it really just comes down to how are you going to use that Beast Snagga Boy brick. And I say always worry about stealing that middle OC, even if you're not going to kill something outright.
Yeah, if that Hunter Rig is going to go down, might as well dump all those boys in the middle.
For sure. So a great job here. This list looks excellent, and it's very close to on meta, right? Yeah. We see all the meta stuff. Instead of flash kits, brought some Mega Knobs. Instead of more Squig Hog Boys, he brought the Pain Boss and Boys. Nothing wrong with that. Still very excellent, very strong, very cool. I love to see it. Boom. Now, I actually want to acknowledge this list because I think it's funny. You seem like the guys that would take one chip challenge with Funyuns. Very true, because I love Funyuns. There we go. But it's funny you bring that up because I did do the one chip challenge and David watched. And I did it the one chip challenge with my brother and some other of my cousins. You seen Chris Tech Lord? He was on the stream yesterday, Wednesday. Chris Tech literally vomited multiple times from the one chip challenge. He had the worst reaction.
Not only did he do the one chip challenge, but right beforehand, he ate a full Little Caesars pizza, then ate the one chip, started freaking out, chugged a Coke, then chugged a glass of milk.
I don't know why he had the Coke. We had milk, we had yogurt, we had water, and Chris Tech, we've seen it on here before. He goes for the Coke. I didn't even know we had Coke, and that makes it worse. So he vomited. My brother was almost crying, and then my nephew damn near fell on the floor and went to the hospital. How we got over it is people just chewed on ice until their mouth went numb. So don't ever do one chip challenge. It sucks. How did I take it? Well, I'm a proper war boss. So I just tanked it.
You did. You did.
I just sat there and I was like, this is horrible. I'm gonna have to deal with this.
He was sitting stone cold on the couch. Yeah. Everyone else was on the floor.
I had a recording too. Yeah, I had a recording too. Yeah, I was just sitting there like, it was horrible. And then David's like, why are you not doing anything? I'm like, because the pain is so much and I'm so much discomfort right now that I can't even express anything that will relieve this. So I'm just going to sit here and tank this one chip challenge to the face, and it hurts so bad.
Even the oxygen would burn, so he just kept his mouth
closed.
It
hurt. Yeah, I just kept my mouth closed. It just hurt, dude. My gums hurt so bad from that. So yeah, it's super funny. Let's see. So we have a lot of beautiful comments. Whoa! A lot of people complimenting that awesome Beaky revenge, right? I love that. No problem, my brother. Whoa! Which is better, a 5-man unit of burners or 4 burner death threads? Well, the points there are not really a comparison, my friend. 5 burners any day. You cause 60 and you could be killed in a single melta. Yeah, exactly. Then he's saying for those 130 points, you can give those 5 burners, give you a truck for all-around survival and staging, of course, right? Irad Zod plus 20 grots in a 1K list. Same board side. The scout move alone covered the center objective. Super grots do work. There you go. So that's shout out to Slap. If you decide, the Calv, if you decide, hey, maybe you need something, but you still want cheap scoring, that's a great idea right there. Zog plus grots. Run up, hold that. Here's the wall. They have the invuln. They're ready. Minus 1 the wound. All have OC, box people out of the objective. They come to clear you off, and then you countercharge them with what killing potential you do have.
Yeah, in a 1K game, that early board midfield control is going to be key, and then you can just control the rate of attrition right after that.
Yeah, and you also get the stage because you know what everybody's going to kill. And yeah, you know what? You seem like the kind of person that only sucked on the Funyun because it was too tough for you. How about that? You know what I'm saying? You little grunt.
Wouldn't that be worse?
Yeah. All he did was suck. No, he can't even use his mouth. He has to just suck on it because his teeth and jaw don't work. Thank you, Joe. I wonder, did he get a he got it. Membership? I didn't see it. Maybe he got it literally. Whoa! Okay. Proper boss on the one chip challenge. Yeah, I tanked it and it hurt my face. Okay. Should we pull up more pictures real quick? Keep on here.
Sure.
Okay. So I played the mech workshop for 80 points, and it mostly covered the entire front line and screen against turn 1 charges. Will fix trucks within 12 inches and gives colors cranes to deep strike. So daggers will not stop selling me on the mech the mech shop. Okay, just put that out there, guys. Daggers is telling me just about every other day to run the mech shop. Okay, he's telling me, hey man, it can screen your backfield, it can screen frontline pressure, you can go out and heal. And in all reality, he's not very much wrong. I just think that the overall meta, but remember, he's looking at it from the perspective of a straight skew. No offense to daggers, but we know you're running skews because you've shared that with us, right? Now, for the rest of us gets that don't have all that stuff to run that skew, a mech workshop is much less reliable because less things are getting healed for less value, and you need those points in general to do other things. And you might end up getting in the way sometimes. But the mech workshop has worked even on the GT level for people that aren't going into a skew sometimes. It just requires that really, really high level of play and understanding the total rules and how to utilize that mech workshop, because you can drag it out across the field and make it crazy and give yourself like cover for damn near your whole list in the front line. So you're not wrong. You're not out of line here. For 80 points, would you bring it, or would you rather have another truck, or would you rather have 20 grots? That's really up to you, but let everybody know, yes, the mech workshop goes. I'm very aware of it. Not against it by any means. But is it a place in the meta right now to counter the things we have? I don't know. Mech workshop to take on a Terminator charge? I was kidding. So really cool. Oh yeah, sorry. This was a really cool little grot. I wanted to show off Makari. Makari with the clean blue. With the clean blue.
There's a different look at the banner.
Yeah, for sure.
Made it look very cartoonish. That's how he made flat.
What should I take on my half of a table for 1250 list? So you're saying that your list is 1250? Is that the whole list? Is it someone else bringing 1250 also, or does he mean just one? I'm gonna assume
half a list.
Right? Yeah. So can you clear that up if you're still there, Captain? Before I start elaborating greatly, do you mean the whole army is 2550 versus 2550, or you and your friend are combining 2550 through and someone else? Like, be clear for me, please. Yeah, sorry, 1200 to make that. Ah, damn, my local. Oh, here we go. Daggers, yes, people are great. Therefore banned in most tournaments. Yeah, it's true. Some people do, but not all of them. Everyone's different. I've seen them in other WTCs sometimes and stuff like that. Yeah, demo it's allowed. Yeah, I've seen them. We've seen them in such like that. Yeah, it's 20. Okay, so both lists have 2,500 points. Okay, so he's saying, what should I take? This is general, and you know what? We'll go into this, but actually, the Pale Ork put in a list for 1350. Yeah. So he actually has an exact example, and we'll just based off that, we're actually be able to go because he actually, we're actually going to cover a list with that points. To be honest, daggers WTC pans off organization at the moment could be wrong as of now, but as of late in the night. I don't know. I think Daggers plays on WTC because he's in Europe. I know America. We play on GW mostly right now.
Yeah.
I played on mostly GW. What's happening here? Make sure I miss anything. Okay, so let's pull up some list real quick because let's see if we can actually see.
We were in the middle of pictures, but
yeah, we'll just move on. Let's see what's the other one. Here's Ork Daggers. So let's go over Ork Daggers because we have about 2 more lists to go over. That means possibly Pale Ork's gonna come up after you. Sorry guys, we're just randomly selecting the list as they come because we have them all showed up right here, right? So Ork Daggers. David, you want to go in on Daggers real quick?
Yeah, he's got a Beast Boss on Squigosaur with Super Cyborg body. He's got Maz, a Knob on Smash the Squig with Head Wappus Kill Chopper.
Yeah.
And then Warboss with Follow Me Lads.
Wait, hold on.
So he's got
hold on. I assume he meant to put Kanimba Brutal, not Super Cyborg body.
Yeah, because
he already has a 4 Feel No Pain. So I assume Daggers, you just did that on accident. Everybody, we're okay.
Yeah, good catch.
Then we have Snagga Boyz.
Snagga Boyz, 3 trucks, a gargantuan Squigoth.
Whoa. 2 Gretchen units. MMAC Workshop. Here's a cheeky get. And then a Knob unit with Power Claws. Does he have a Warboss? No, right?
Yeah, he's a Warboss.
Oh, he does. Okay, so he's just throwing in that 5-man unit. 1 big brick of Squighog Boys, a Stormboy unit, and a Warboy unit, Warbiker unit. I'm pretty sure you've ran something similar to this list before. Haven't you not? I actually do like the Beast Boss because sometimes you need to go in there and pop that transport really reliably or some kind of armored unit. I'm not done on him yet. The Beast Boss on Squigosaur helps you double down with the Gargantuan Squigoth and Mazrog, the fact that you have that odd durability, right? We talked about it before. If you were willing to drop this guy and put a Death Killer Warcheck and a Feel No Pain, that might be interesting instead if you feel like you need even more units because you already have the Biker unit on the list, right? So you're already paying for the Biker. So if you take those points, Daggers, I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not doing it. I'm not saying anything like that.
He only has that in 1 Stormboy unit, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd prefer the Warbikers alone as a secondary but mission plane unit.
And no Daggers. I think you just said that hold on, we'll keep going before I address Daggers, what he said in response. Keep going. Sorry. I was holding the mouse, guys.
So what are you saying?
Okay, sorry. Daggers says Beast Boss and Squigosaur has a 5-up Feel No Pain. Maz is a 4. No, it's you got it inverted, my friend. What it is they both have a 4-up Feel No Pain, but the Beast Boss and Squigosaur has a 5-up Invuln, and Mazrog has a 4-up Invuln. But they both have a 4-up Feel No Pain. So no. Your Beast Boss on foot has a 6-up Feel No Pain. Okay, so I just want to let you know that that's actually not. So you got a little misuse there on the rules, but that's okay. That happens all the time. Then we have, besides that, that's the only thing I would say. You could throw the Beast Boss and Squigglesaur, downgrade them to Death Killer Warstrike. David said no, but in my opinion, you can have 2 different kind of scoring units for that too, and they're both quite durable. They both have the same amount of wounds, just a different toughness. But yeah, the one thing is, if you do leave this on, because 15 points is exactly the same as Cunning but Brutal, put that on him, because then you have the ability to fall back and charge with him, and he's actually not killy. That's the one thing I don't like about the Beast Boss and Squigglesaur is he's not killy. Therefore, making him fall back and charge is the move, because you let people know, hey man, if you don't, that guy's gonna go run to the back of your table. He's gonna touching more stuff. He's gonna touch more stuff. And then if you heroic with him for 1 CP is not as much of a detriment to you, because you can use that 1 CP heroic knowing you're gonna fall back and charge the next turn.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against you keeping that, but if you want more bodies on your list, downgrade that Beast Boss and Squigglesaur, throw a Death Killer Warstrike on there with the 4 Feel No Pain. And then if you throw him with the biker unit, that becomes a nasty durability of ablated wounds. And the Death Killer Warstrike auto advance 6s if you want that movement, so you don't get move blocked by the fact that you have trucks already. You have this gargantuan squig off. He can actually get up earlier and start relieving some pressure and some spacing there as well, or by himself if you choose that you still want more units, like David said, or it might be a way to get you more grots. So yeah, and he seems like he's actually open to the Death Killer Warstrike. Yeah, so you know,
he does it auto advance 6.
Mm-hmm.
So on the wall, it's a very fast unit.
Yeah, so overall, I'm glad we were able to directly look at this list. Daggers have run different iterations of this. All of them are quite good, indifferent. So yeah,
Brandon, of course, showing his support for the
Brandon popping out of nowhere. Brandon coming from the dead out of nowhere, like, hey man, you know he has to feel no pain in a 6 up advance, right? You know, I swear Brandon sometimes sticks to like is sitting around by the fuel of a Death Killer Warstrike, just snoring it up like, yeah, guys, you see that Death Killer Warstrike? You just letting me know all the time. Love that, Brandon. I appreciate you just giving you a hard time.
You saw that interview I did.
You know, you saw me murk. Like, yeah, he does though. I mean, and we've seen that the world team champion, someone brought him too. So Brandon was way ahead of the game, because that was like 2 months ago. Heals in the truck. There we go. Yep, I love that. Heals that too. So yeah, okay, that's cool. Let's look at a couple more pictures, and then we'll look at a couple more lists, because I think we're coming down on the list that we have and on the pictures. What? Oh, I was gonna say this is a sick looking Morkanot for you gets that can't tell the difference, because you got some bits in your head. The reason I know this is because he has a big force field on the top, and his arms are different. Just so you guys know, I love the horns. That's the one thing I don't have on mine, or those sick horns that came with it. I don't have those on mine. Now I kind of wish, in hindsight, I wish I do. The fact you can see he put flamers too. Look at those black flames by his belly. Oh, I'm glad David pulled this up, because this guy's paint job.
Yeah,
he
did a great job too of making those eyes pop with that light blue. Like it just looks like it's glowing.
Yeah, so that's a sick job he did right here. Everything he did here, from where you want the attention, maybe some glowing eyes here, the black flames in the back of the yellow for the Mork, the sign of Gork / possibly Mork. Great job by this person. Freaking sick. I love this yellow today. So for some reason, all these yellow pictures coming through. Then we have someone else's Waaagh, where they converted a bunch of Age of Sigmar models and made them really cool. You know, Beast Snagga Boyz, Beast Snagga Boyz kind of model, Mega Knob models. As you can see here, some of these guys have big looking like Mega Knobs. Then you have their Age of Sigmar version of the Psyker, right?
Right.
And then a cool little banner dude over here for a knob with wall banner. If you don't want one of those crappy ones that is a resin cast now, you can use those cool little beasts like Beast Boys, Snick Boys, and such like that.
It was an interesting choice. He went with the black weapons here.
Okay. Oh, and Calv actually responded to now that we did this. He said, "Thanks for the advice, fellas. I played my first practice game for the 1K tournament, and you guys were right. My list was squishy, and my mech guns didn't punch. My teammates rolled me hard, 85 to 27. Okay, yeah, and that's why, honestly, like I said, your list was actually good. If you were talking about like the full game board, because you can move around his death potential, escape potential, choose your skirmishes to kill his scoring units, but in that small table, it's really toe-to-toe grinding, face-to-face, where you're feeling no pains from Squig Hog Boys or Beast Boss and Squigosaur or a Death Killer Warstrike. All those guys would be interesting and help, right? And you need some punch, because you just got to get people off you as an orc. In your melee army, you got to let them know I'm killing you, right? Let's see another list here. Man, it looks like the Pale Orc's going to be last. God, I'm sorry, Pale Orc. So the Pale Orc's going to
hopefully he's still in the chat.
Yeah, hopefully he's still around. He's sleeping now. I don't know. So the Pale Orc, man, I didn't mean to do that, Pale Orc. It just so happens that we were going through all of these randomly, and yours just didn't get seen. God, sorry. All right, so then we have the Rocket Revolution. Yeah, David really liked this list. This is from Lennis. Lennis, if you out there, here's your list. So we got the Big Mech and Shock Attack gun.
We're gonna get some comments here on these.
As his only leader. Then we have 1, 2, 3 Death Copters. Whoa! This gets crazy. And we have 2 units of Gretchen, followed by 3 units of Grot tanks, all big, thick, fat units.
Yeah. It's two lists today with 9 Grot tanks.
Yeah.
Or not 9. Was it 18 Grot tanks?
Yeah. And we have 3 killicans and then a mech gun. Boom. Wow. This list kind of caught me off guard, guys. I got to take a second to look at this a little longer. The one thing I would say is good for this list, I'll pop right off the bat. Great toughness across the table at T6. Yes. Right. Great toughness with actual armor saves across this table, across this list. But it is a odd skew. You're going for a ton of rockets, just like you said in the Revolution. The one thing you have going on here that other lists might have failed is you do actually have killicans that can fight. The reliability of their fighting, You don't have a mech to heal them, This, I'm gonna say, this list might actually be one of the lists that could use a mech workshop. I said it. See, because there's so many units that have the vehicle keyword that can get healed. You know what I mean? And then you could take the benefit of cover because so many of these units actually have good armor saves.
What does that character do?
And you need the benefit of cover. And you would need to put these guys on the line, like the killicans and stuff, because they're so slow if you don't strategic reserve them.
What's the character?
Well, the character is just the Big Mech with the shock attack gun.
So he's with the...
He can give you, like, battle shock if he shoots you from far away.
I mean, how do you... I guess
you can put him with mech guns.
Killicans, that's what you'd contest the middle with, right?
Yeah. And that's one thing. This doesn't have anything to contest middle. We're going to bring it up again. And you know what? In the chat, they gave us a great suggestion, and it's a good way to keep the theme behind this grot list without ruining them. Snagga, 20 grots into the middle, that one throwaway turn when you walk, because you really do need something that could possibly punch / hold objective / stand there. So I'm going to actually suggest that again for this list, like David said, because immediately he goes, what's going to stand? What's going to stand in the middle of the table when I choose to for one turn? And sometimes stealing an objective that one turn in the middle of the table wins or dies the game.
Yeah, exactly. Also, by having something like that in the middle of the table, you get your opponent to have to make the decision whether they're going to commit to try to clear that, and allowing you to set up your counter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll just tiptoe an objective, stay as far as possible from those killicans, knowing they're slow. Then you're going to have a tough time.
Yeah. So here I would say very weird skew. Your toughness, your armor save is going to be freaking cool. If you can sacrifice maybe some mech guns, maybe some grot tanks, whatever it may be. Also, I like the mech guns to be spread out into three-man units because I'd prefer to screen my backfield. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
You're kind of missing that too.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was going to say. I was like, I'm going to make sure I'm not missing something. And I know that you're most likely looking for the rerolls for the mech guns from your shock attack gun. I do understand that. So if you choose not to because you want the rerolls from your mech guns to get from the shock attack gun to give them rerolls, that's fine. And remember, you got battle shock.
Just be aware if someone does drop in your backfield, your army's kind of slow, so it's going to take you a while, and you're going to sacrifice turns trying to
see some things. I mean, some things are fast. It's just you can't charge them and fight them after, even if they do get there. Like your grot tanks are fast. They can reactive move to cover distance. The Death Copters can deep strike and move, and you can ingress some stuff in. But nothing's going to punch people off objectives and kind of make up the space. So yeah, I'd say a big unit of grots with the grot herder for super runs or a mech shop. So, whoa, I love that. And the backer said can't drop in your backfield if you have a mech workshop. That's so funny.
There you go. That's the missing piece.
Yeah, mech workshop. Okay. We're getting towards the end of these pictures too, because I think we have about, like 3 or 4 more pictures. So
pretty much.
Appreciate these guys. And he's actually still here. He said, I'm still here waiting patiently. Thank you, because you're next for sure. Made me feel bad. My guest didn't make the list today then. Oh, what? Yeah. I might have failed.
There's a lot of lists.
There's a lot of lists. Let me try to, I might have failed my love. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, don't worry. We're going to do these way more often, and you're going to be first now that you said that. First list next time. Workshop on the Pale Orks list would be fire. We haven't seen the Pale Orks list yet. That wasn't his list, but it's okay. Regardless, he's trying to throw it on his list. Yeah, he's foreshadowing. Whatever happens, put that mech workshop. I'm a casual. I run 3 mech workshops. Whoa. Okay, no one's ever getting your backfield or getting turn 1 charges off on you.
So it's Hughes list, three
Wappa,
three
I made it to the
workshops, and
stream.
18 Def
That's your dream list. 18 Def Copters, 3 mech shops. Boom, you're healing everything. Whoa! And Wappa made it. Then we have can't drop in your backfield like you said with another wall as Goofy get. All right, this is an awesome looking Boyz mob unit as you can see right here. Again, I think this is the same person, but it looks really good. You have you have all these units of armored up. You get really good metal, cheeky gets, but the green is sticking out so strongly with that tinge of the orange. The tinge of the orange makes it so it's not like committed to one clan, which is what I like to see personally.
You're right.
But it looks freaking excellent. So these boys are really, really clean, much cleaner than my Ork boys look, and they have a little bit of character. The fact that the green sticks out so hard and the metal so kind of subtle in the background makes it so each boy's kind of pose and what they're doing really sticks out because the armor doesn't really grab the attention.
Right.
It just them, and then their weapon does. So those look really good too. Then we have the sick looking warboss and mega armor with all yellow. No, we showed a different version, I think. It might be the same one actually, but I didn't see the checker pattern last time. So I put them up. We're getting close to the end of the slides. So then we wanted this is our last picture slide. Def Copters. I'm assuming this is actually the person that made all the 3 Def Copter lists, stuck this in here ready to show us the 9 Def Copters that they're actually going to be using to go on that list that they shared.
Though,
yeah, we can see they're getting them up and going. You're right, because the rest of them. So he's getting close to them 18 Def Copters. Yeah. Right, because he's up to possibly 12 right here. So last but certainly never least, we have the Pale Ork.
Oh, with his art company.
Okay,
list.
And I'll tell you right now, the Pale Ork, because you did send us the other list. David and I both said that this list was better.
Yeah.
Than the other list that you sent us with the bikers and stuff. All right. So, and someone that put a chat into the 1250 point list. As you can see, Pale Ork's list is 1350. One key thing he said is at this point size, it really matters for optimizing each unit because you're still playing on the full table length. And everything has to either be more killy or more survivable in their own kind of weird way for that reason. Right.
So this is going to be a good foundation for your list.
Yeah, for the 1250 list person. And that's why I didn't want to start ranting because we were going to already cover it kind of here. So we have a Big Mech and Mega armor with super cyborg body. That makes it so he cannot eat precisioned out easily. Right. He's already quite durable with a great armor save. That matters. That pushes him over the edge for durability. Then you have Mazrog Scrag Bag. I love him at lower point cost. I love him at all point cost, but at lower point cost, hard for any army to match him toe to toe. 3 trucks with 2 units of boys. Gorkanaut.
Let's go.
Gretchen, that 5-man unit of Mega Knobs for the Big Mech, and then 1 knob unit with big choppas because he doesn't have the war boss, so he wants to actually be able to hit. But that strength from the big choppas is kind of nice. I do miss the AP, but the good strength at that game size will matter because there'll be more skirmishing unit, but at least you'll reliably hit, and you can at least threaten other units. Then you have 2 Storm Boy units just for scoring. He said I could take out the Storm Boy units and reduce the amount of the Mega Knobs to make another Mega unit that rides in the Gork, or losing the Gorkanaut means more Mega Knobs, more boss in the truck, but he likes having a centerpiece model. And I think, honestly, Pale Ork, keep that guy. Keep that guy. There are going to be games, right, where you run into Lancers and someone double Lancers you, right? But in my opinion, if they have those double Lancers, you're still winning on the rest of the table as an Ork player, and you can still put them on the – you can strategic reserve them and then bring them in on the table if you want to for the Gorkanaut, right? So you don't have to even throw him away or even have to put things inside of him. That's why I'm like, go ahead and keep him, because also in some games, people just won't want to deal with him and Mazrog and all your trucks. They might end up taking most of their turns trying to pop him, and everybody else just gets to freely roam the table. Do I like Warboss and Knobs in the Scalpel unit? Of course I do, but you don't have to do it just based off what I like or what the meta shows. We do know that the meta directly shows that Power Claws and the Warboss are almost a staple on 18 out of 20 Ork lists, right? I'm just putting it out there and saying that's true. Doesn't mean you have to do it because you're playing an odd point cost. One thing is you do want the speed on your list because you're playing that big table with still such amount of point cost, right? With that weird amount of point cost. I do like that you double down your scoring potential with your OC. You're not too fat on characters, not too lean on characters either. And the Gorkanaut, like I said, is going to threaten for the whole game. You did give good options to substitute, yet you seem like you really like to play this way. So why not just play this way? You know, why not just do it? Because really not a bunch of armies can directly long range take out the Gorkanaut in one shooting phase. It really comes down to just Space Marines and Lancers type thing, right? Not a lot of armies really want to deal with the Gorkanaut or try to murk him like that. You just can't.
Right.
He'll be annoying for Tyranid players to deal with. He'll be annoying for different other factions that don't want to deal with him. And you'll have a great time with him. And Mazrog, if that guy's getting killed, Mazrog is going to be full potential later into the game, and he's going to be bothering people even later into the game, longer and harder.
Right, and if you do come across Lancers, just strategic reserve them.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Mm-hmm. And ingress them in, bait them, Maz. Hopefully he throws the Lancers into the Maz, and then Maz just rides that 4-up invul and just tanks it, because that actually is
Maz tanks Lancers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Other than that, I don't want to change your list too much, because it seems like it's kind of, and the thing for the other unit is I just felt like it didn't have the killy potential. Is what we felt like on the other unit was missing, and this one has a cool kind of durability with the mega knobs and such like that. Especially because I know you're not running a bunch of Squig Hog boys. You're usually running a lot more of a mechanized force, and I wanted to kind of maintain this theme and everything like that. So you still have killing potential, you still have AP, you have multi-damage, stuff like that. Is there anything to fix on, like, to leave in this? I mean, no more enhancements you would really want. Can't even precision out his character. He's not too character heavy, right?
No, I mean, no, unless, like you said, he wanted to drop Storm Boys, but I like that scoring potential. What else do you really have to threaten the backfield? And
because his other league guys had 2 shock attack guns and 2 units of bikers, and then he had a Death Killer Wartrek and a Warboss on bike for the knobs on bike. I just felt like those units all felt like once they got kind of chipped down and whittled down, they would lose all their threat potential, and they wouldn't be able to kill as much anymore. That's why I don't like this list as much. I'd rather you go for all these units can either straight up kill or they straight up win OC. Whatever their job is, they're trying to do, and they do it well. Compared to something like a Warbiker unit trying to fight, but then also score, but then also hold board while also trying to hold an objective. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let them do what they reliably want to do. Each one of these data sheets, let the bikers not try to do 2 jobs at the same time, in my opinion.
Right.
Even though in most games you say, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, but they don't do it good either way. Like the Warboss in the Warbiker unit or the knobs in the Warbikers unit, you just use killing 2 bikers or whatever, the knob unit or an Overwatch or whatever it may be. Now that Warboss and that Warbiker unit are not threatening anymore. They really aren't. They don't even have enough attacks, and they hit on like 4s innately for the Warbiker knob. So I don't like that either. This list is much better, and I actually appreciate this list. Been playing various versions of the list, and this has been the best so far, proven to be super strong to play the mission. Yeah, it looks like you're super strong to play the mission because everything wants to do its job and does it well. Maz is the only dual purpose one here, and that's okay. And you know right away, oh, that Gorkanaut's going to get killed. Well, then I know I can place everything else where I want to place it and not be threatened by it, or I'll strategic reserve it. People are going to try to screen him out. That means they can get charges off earlier and call a wall. So I really like this list. Very cool. Really great job. Awesome. Weird point cost. I haven't played at this point cost, but I can see a lot of people kind of adopting this. I like that it's over 1,000 points. And even 1350. I mean, that's better than 1250 because gives that extra like 2 units possibly.
Yeah. So if you had to shave 100 points off this to help out our boy, where would you choose it to be?
The one knob unit.
The one knob unit?
Yeah, the one knob unit, because I think they don't reliably do anything that they're trying to do.
I got you.
Not to be bogus to Pale Orc, they're good because you fit them on there for that point cost. I'm saying for Captain, I believe he was looking at this. If you were to look at this list and say you had the models and you want to copy this verbatim and go from here, the one unit I would try to get rid of is probably
the knob.
Yeah, probably the knob unit, to be honest, because everything else is already serving their purpose. The knob unit can die from Overwatch. They're not that much more durable than Boyz. They don't have great OC. They don't bring AP. They're not really doing anything. Then they're going to be missed on this list if you're down to 1250.
For a Pale Orcs list, would you drop in, bring a Stormboy unit and maybe a Grout unit for that point cost?
For 105?
Right, 65 plus 40.
Yeah, that's exactly. Could you bring another Stormboy unit, another Grout unit? Honestly,
what else could you do for 105?
This sounds funny, but Death Killer Wartrike
for 105.
No, but I'm saying you bring enough Killer Wartrike for the 95, then you upgrade the Stormboys to a biker unit for 5.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, not that you have to do that, but if you were to adjust this list to someone else wants to play it, you could drop these Stormboys for a biker unit, right? And then you can drop the knobs for Death Killer Wartrike and the Feel No Pain. And even then, you might even have some points left over for an enhancement or whatever it may be.
How many points is Death Killer?
I don't want to, make anybody do that or push them to that. It's just another way that we can kind of pull it in.
He did have the Death Killer on his other list.
So yeah, he's very much aware of it. Yeah.
He's trying to use it.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he already tried that inclination of what I just mentioned. But that'd be the only kind of thing I would say, because it's because you're paying for super cyborg body, so it'd be like 95 points because he's 80 base.
Yeah. Okay.
And he already has super cyborg body right here. Actually, I think he already does. So you know what I mean. But you don't need super cyborg body on here. Is the only thing I'm saying. But like, remember, we're talking about if Captain, which is another person in chat, wanted to adjust this list as well. We're not even telling Pale Ork to adjust this list. We're saying if someone wanted to run something similar to this, drop 100 points and then swap things around, that's how you would do it. That's the context of what our statement was.
I mean, I think Brandon likes that adjustment.
Let's see what's going on here.
On
whoa! Let's see what's going on. Let's see chat. Let's see what chat says for the final say on here for you guys. I'm sad I didn't get Snickrot for the 1,000 points, full points. Would have loved running him solo and do some shenanigans. Yeah, I think he's super cool for 1,000 points doing shenanigans. It's just 1,000 points on a small table, then he's not. If you play a full table, right? Mind you, when we reviewed that guy's 1,000 point list, he's playing on half the table. That means he's not going to enjoy Snickrot doing his thing. On a full table, Snickrot can enjoy and do his thing.
Right.
So he has that Death Killer War Trike. Brandon ran 2. No, he just ran 1. We're saying the Pale Ork has the Warboss on bike on his other version of this list, and he has a Death Killer War Trike on his list. So Pale Ork's very, very aware that the Feel No Pain is an option and Death Killer War Trike and knives. We're just trying to tell him and Captain the only thing that we could ever adjust to this. Like I said, I'm not in love with the small knob unit, but maybe he does because they can come out of a transport or whatever it be and skirmish. I can understand that and be happy on that. But what I'm trying to say is you could drop them, bring the Death Killer War Trike with the Feel No Pain, get some more points left over, upgrade these Storm Boys to a biker unit. You might have some weird points left over and you have to figure that out too. But hey, that could be a kind of a way to kind of get it to go, especially if you're trying 1250 instead of 1350 and such. But really good. He said, thanks for the feedback, boys. I assume he said thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. And of course, if you don't take any of it to mind, then don't, because you already played all these practices, but they've been doing a great job. And the list already looks really quite balanced out. Like I said, the only reason I'd even drop the knobs is because we were trying to get it to the 1250 points.
Right.
You know,
that's how the conversation.
That's how the conversation started. We're not putting down on anything you said. That looks excellent. Brandon loves in it. Can't sleep on his movement ability and his Feel No Pain. It's true. His Feel No Pain is super annoying because he's 9 wounds with the 4 Feel No Pain, guys. He's essentially very similar to the Beast Boss and Squigosaur. He just in that toughness 10. War Trike help me come. War Trike for help back a Swarm Lord and 3 Hive Tyrants for 2 turns before going down. So he held back Swarm Lord and the Hive Tyrants. Nasty. Yeah, he's super annoying like that, dude. Mega Knobs with the mech have been MVP every game. They just don't die. Yeah, they're super good. And one time I enjoyed them. I just got totally annihilated by Tyranids, and I was all butthurt because they all have flat 3 damage, and I just made no saves. But as a whole, they are quite durable, especially because you're bringing guys back. And they can just stand in the open. If you're playing GW tables, you're going to stand in the open more. That's why I keep bringing them up, and people keep putting them down. I'm like, nah, man. I got 1 to paint, a second one built, and I would try to wonder 2. Wondered if you'd have tried 2. I think the real thing about the Death Killer War Trike is the Feel No Pain puts him over the top.
I'm surprised he doesn't have the Epic Hero keyword.
Death Killer War Trike?
Yeah.
Nah. Also, we're out of these slides.
I'm surprised he doesn't.
Nah, I'm not surprised. He shouldn't.
I said I'm not surprised.
Oh, okay. Oh, these said you were. Let's see what's happening here. Because those are all the pictures from the hobby, guys. So good job. We had about 37 pictures. Eddie, you need to have a little come to Gork talk with David. David, time to come to Gork and Mork. Fall over to the side.
What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, I was hoping to see Dagger's display board on stream. Did I not show his? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry about that display. He didn't. Man, I don't know how I missed that one. Dagger, send me a display board directly in the next hobby stream, which hopefully we'll do in like 2 weeks or something. We'll have that. I must have.
He finishes his thought.
I don't know what he's talking about. Let me see. I must have. I just have bought some orcs. Please tell me how to play them. You get stuck in that. No, I'm just kidding. There's a bunch of ways to play orcs. That's really just by what you own. We have some videos of 1K ones. We have the orc archetype videos that shows you like this is what you want if you're beast snaggers. This is if you're running if you're mech. We have the orc archetype video, so you can use those. They're still totally relevant right now. Of course, we weren't as clean and refined as we are now, so bear with us if you don't love the expressions as much, but the information is still very valid.
Also, join the Discord too. We're on there, always chatting.
That's free, Daniel.
Bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah, that's free. Yeah, that's free, Daniel. So go ahead and join that. And there's a bunch of smart cunning gifts that want to get in there.
Yeah, let us know what you own too and what you have resources to.
Yeah, Death Killer War Trike is not a vehicle. the most surprising. He used to be one, and they got rid of that. But that would make him way more interesting because he'd be strength 10 with tank shock, and he can get healed. But he would also give up double bring it down points because he's a character plus a vehicle. So he'd be bringing down and then double fixed secondary. So he'd be annoying. How to play good Gorka Mork. Dagger. Grump. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. I love the Death Killer War Trike. I normally run him with 6 war bikers, but I'm starting to try running him with 3 knobs on bikes. They are fragile, but they hit like a truck. Yeah, that's happened where I normally just run him with 3 just because I want more guy. He's more for slowing down and stuff. I don't deliver him for killing, but he does have the potential to be killing for killing. It's just in Overwatch, if you end up losing those knobs, it kind of gets annoying, in my opinion, right? But you do like having that really small, precise unit that can auto advance 6, go up there and fight. So it's really nice. Oh, and also learn to shoot bad and yell, whoa! That's very true. You have to learn how to do that. And then the Discord is in our community.
It's on the channel page. Link's right on there. And all you got to do is download the app, and it'll get you there.
Yep. Discord in this description.
Oh, yeah. And we put in all the video descriptions, too.
Of course. All right, guys.
Actually, not this one.
So I think that was a pretty successful hobby chat. We went through all the lists that we had, and right there was about 10 lists, I believe. So pretty heavy on the list showing. We also have 30-some plus pictures, so we can get stuff going back up with that. So very, very important on that. We're going to do these more often. They're very fun. We let you down, but things were busy. We're getting better. We're getting on the groove. David's back. We understand our scheduling more, and we have more support than ever. So we appreciate you guys greatly. I'm glad you guys were here for the hobbies chat. We don't know how it was going to go, but it seems like you guys supported like you said you were going to. So we'll keep doing them because you guys are reciprocating of them, and you guys are giving us love back. So we should constantly do this. Constantly send the pictures. And I'll earlier try to get out to send me a list. Of course, if I ever ask you for your list, send me units you're willing to substitute and the kind of event you're going for and what terrain you're going for. That way we have context when we cover these lists, so it's not just in the air. Oh, you can bring 18 Squig Hog boys and you don't own them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's so really important that if you send us your list, tell us stuff you can substitute, because I can just go like, well, just, bring 3 mega tanks. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even own them. It's like, what? So yeah.
We want our advice to be useful and applicable to your situation.
Yeah. And we want the chat to be able to respond to it too. And a lot of people say smart stuff in chat, because the whole point of this channel is the community of the wall. It's not about me being the overlord, old senior of stuff. I'm not the emperor. We don't work that way. We're all together as a community. We're all a bunch of different war bosses. We all praise Gork and Mork in our all ways, and it's all be great for everybody involved. Right?
Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys. And there's one thing you want to say, David? What's going on? David's looking like he wants to say something.
Any leftover jets?
Remember, good lads. Remember the stream. We appreciate y'all. Love the hobby stream. Whoa! From the clip. All the different emojis for the runts, mega knobs, war bosses, run herder. I appreciate that. Send them emojis in there as well. Love y'all videos. Keep it coming. Thanks. You appreciate you guys. We'll definitely get better every time. Don't worry. Great more of ideas. Feel free to interact with us and let us know what you mean. Hobby stream is the best. Check then
the channel. Go to the channel page, and under our description is definitely there. After the stream, I will upload it onto this video because I forgot to put it on this one.
Yep.
But channel page is right there.
Yes, sir. So next time, everybody. Whoa. Don't worry. We'll be doing our proper outro. A wise Mork follower, Ork once said, "You'll never walk alone." Yeah, that's proper. Now, one thing to keep in mind is don't cross a wall, because we knock your teeth out. Whoa!